Inside joke between me and Mike. He knows what's going on. Destiny, what up? Thanks for tuning in. Guys, we're here. We're live. Scott, you just went to the casino for the second time in like 2 weeks.
I did.
Amidst the COVID.
I got talked into it. I mean, the first time was on my own. This time I got talked into it.
How do you get talked into it? Here you go, Frank.
Oh, we got a friend of the podcast. He's not around these parks too often. He was dying to go. He knew I could get a free room, so, you know, we had to go do it up.
That's it?
What else are you going to do on a Tuesday night?
So you got lit?
Oh, dude. If you guys watch Crack the Track on Instagram Live Tuesday night, you could see that I was clearly lit.
I totally forgot to tune in. I didn't even know you did it.
Oh, he did it. It was a train wreck.
Did anyone tap in besides Peasy?
I had one. It's the second time. There's this one caller that always calls in, but then they get real shy. They get real camera shy.
Oh, you mean like when my brother calls the show?
That little 11-year-old?
Maybe they don't show their face on camera. They just giggle and hang up.
Shout out to the 420 Hype House in the building. Apparently, big hashtag going on here. Hashtag 420 Hype House. What's good? What's good? I love it. I love it. I love when the peoples come in, bro. The fam is lit. It's lit. Scott, why don't you tell the people what this week's beer of the week is?
All right. So the beer of the week, it's from Treehouse, of course, and it's from their Curiosity series, which they started in like 2014 or something like that. And basically, it's an experimental beer, and they number them. But since we're on episode 50, and 50 is a milestone, I had to take one of these from the back of my fridge. It is a Curiosity 50. It's got the big 5-0 on the can, man. And, yeah, it's a milestone, so I had to drink it. And this beer is, like, super old, by the way. You're supposed to drink your Treehouse beers fresh. It's not bad, but this beer is older than the podcast.
Older than the podcast?
The can date on this is July 12th, 2018. This is almost 2 years old, this beer. But it's not bad. It's got notes of peach, citrus. It's juicy, saturated. And like I said, it's 6.6%er. So it's kind of low for a double IPA. But yeah, dude, it's a milestone. It's 50, baby.
50! A.K.A. Ferrari F50.
Ferrari F50. I feel like we probably should have rolled 2 blunts, you know, for this episode. Remember we used to smoke 2 blunts every episode?
We did.
Remember that? And now look at us. We got one roll that's already almost done. I'm power puffing this thing.
Well, we could always roll in a second blunt. We could always bust out the bong.
The bong. I don't know. The second blunt sounds like a nice idea, though. But here we are. The 1-year anniversary. I got to ask you guys. We've been doing this for 52 weeks. What is your favorite moment from the podcast? Last week might have been...
The Scott Casino story never gets old.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's my personal favorite. That's one where everybody gets to love to laugh at me. But one that I really got to laugh at was recently, last week. The ukulele guy that played Gas or Trash.
Bro, the ukulele guy might be like my top number 1 spot. I know. That dude, I had me cracking up. I don't think I've laughed that hard in so long. So fucking long. But I also agree with Jason, or Frank Knox, because, listen, the casino story was probably one of the most epic stories ever told on air. As far as I'm concerned, hearing the Scott talk about how he's throwing chairs and giving forearms to the post at the casino is a memory I may never forget.
Me at the casino on a Tuesday night.
And you were there.
I got to witness
me on the casino on the weekend. Oof.
This was also a Tuesday. Was this a Sunday? Or
it was a Sunday.
Sunday.
And there was a wrestling show on top of it there. So this is all bad elements all mixed and sprinkled into a pot that just created... like the ultimate Scott.
Have you had a green tea shot since that night?
I can't say I have.
That's what I really want.
You know what though? I'm big on those in the summer. So you just reminded me. I forgot all about green tea shots.
You forgot about green tea shots, bro? That was your drink, bro.
I forgot. That's a drink I usually get, like, you know, when I'm out on like the beach or the beach bar or something like that.
Do you remember when we went to the wrestling show in Bristol? All right.
It's coming back.
The NEW show, I think it was.
Coming back.
And
at the ballpark, right?
Across the street was this bar.
Yeah.
This dive bar that was doing karaoke.
Yeah.
Me, Scott, Moonshine, Hippie Mood.
Me and casinos and Peasy and karaoke. I mean, that's just a bad combo right there.
Dude,
PC and karaoke is a winning combination. I don't know what you're
Scott's
talking
buying
about.
the whole bar green tea shots. Everybody that was in there was drinking green tea, bro. Scott was lit, yo. He got everybody else lit with him.
When we were at Shrine, he was buying everyone green tea shots. It was crazy. That was only probably like 40 weeks ago. And it just seems like it's been years. And we had, John Morrison. He was willing to do our podcast, but we didn't have equipment. We didn't bring our gear. Rookie mistake.
Yeah,
like
big rookie mistake.
Like the Undertaker this last week or this week, whatever week it was on the last.
But
ride.
Joey Janela was there. Marco Stunt was there, and Flip Gordon wasn't there. But I kept.
Yeah, you had a vendetta for Flip, and you had a vendetta for Marco's Stunt for whatever reason.
What do you mean?
It was fuck you, Marco.
That's
Stunt.
right. He hated
Fuck
Marco
you,
Stunt.
Flip Gordon.
I don't know why, Scott. You had a thing against the guy. Flip Gordon wasn't even there.
He wasn't even. In the
I don't know what that was about. I just whatever. That's what came out of me.
That's what came out of you? That's all you got? Really?
I can't answer it, man. I was incoherent.
I don't know, Scott. Listen, here's what I know. Right now, this blunt's already almost gone. It's almost 6:15. We got to take a break. We're going to give you number 5, top 5 podcast moment right now. Play it for the crowd. When we come back. Oh, man. Damn, Frank. Take this away from me, bro.
When we come back, we're going to...
When we come back, we're going to get blunt with our listeners. You know? That's really what it comes down to. But first, the 5th spot for top podcast moments right here.
Enjoy. A brand new episode starts right now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's right. It's the intro to our first ever episode, Scott.
To be blunt with Peasy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The following podcast is scheduled for one fall.
and we are finally here, the To Be Blunt podcast. And I know it's been a long time coming. I am your host, Peasy, with my co-host here, Frank Knox.
The day has come. We're live.
And I can't believe it. You know, we've been promoting this show for weeks now. You know, getting all the special guests to do the drops, as you probably see on our Facebook page. Can you believe that?
And
the first ever episode.
This, you know what I mean?
Of To Be Blunt. Yeah, it's only been a year.
Crazy to think it's only a year ago.
49 episodes ago.
49 episodes ago. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, it's Blunt Talk right here on To Be Blunt with PC.
Stock up on TP, because we're the shit. It's To Be Blunt with Peasy.
That's right, baby. To be blunt, we're back. 420 hype houses in the building. Oh, we got right there.
There's the recipe.
There's the recipe. I'll put it on the screen. Let's bring it to the screen. What is it? Green tea shot, add ice, Irish whiskey, peach schnapps, and sweet and sour to a shaking glass and shake well. Shaking glass and shake well? Is that what he said? What the fuck? Shaking glass?
To a shaking glass. So a glass you could shake and then shake it well.
You can shake any glass.
Well, not if it doesn't have a top on it.
Shake it and
it's a shaking glass.
I don't know. The way he worded it was kind of weird.
Whatever, man. Obviously, probably copy and pasted it. He said he looked it up.
Probably went to the Google.
It's delicious.
It's
Anybody
great.
out there that's had it, you can comment, but it's
It really
absolute
is.
delicious drink. It tastes just like a green tea.
No, it really does. It really does.
I'll just rip the whiskey straight. I'm a whiskey straight type of guy. The green tea does the job.
Well, I'm glad you said that because a little birdie told me it's shot o'clock. That's right. You got to celebrate right. Listen, here's what we need. We need more weed right now. Scott, if you will, please grab the bong and some weed off that table. It's about to go down.
Well, you could just grab the bud and the tray. Grab the bud and the tray if you want to roll a blunt. If you want the
You
bong.
want to roll a blunt again? Is there enough in there to roll a blunt? I mean, we can always bust out one of the Mini King
The
Pops.
weed was tied up. We're going to use this weed.
Yo, Dave Mort's got the new dance out, yo, for one of my jams, yo. Yo, I don't know, bro. That La 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 gimmick was fucking fire, bro.
That was fire.
That dance was sick, bro. TikTok has been going nuts, bro. It's been going nuts. I know every week we talk about it, but listen, I can't help it. It's like every week is another episode in the saga of Peasy on TikTok, you know? It started off as an innocent page, not knowing what to do.
It started off doing dances.
Dancing and shit. And then now, I'm making the hottest remixes to the hottest songs on TikTok. I love it. I love it. And you know what?
They're all 420 friendly.
Yeah, of course they are. And the people have loved it, bro.
And you have basically, I guess, repackaged previous PZ bangers and released them on TikTok. I know I've seen Green and Purple.
Green and Purple, absolutely.
Just got released.
That's the newest one, bro. And that song, dude, I knew when I made that was going to be a jam one day. And now, look at it. TikTok loves it, bro. My people, the 420 Hype House, love it, bro. You know? There's no lie when I tell you.
Just give me what are you doing? Just bring one over here.
Scott doesn't know what he's doing.
You don't have to.
And we're the ones smoking and he's not.
Shout out to a previous episode where I had to do this stuff with mittens. Now I can't even do it with my bare hands.
Oh, dude, I forgot
That's right,
about
me
that.
too.
I know, I just
the
remember
Mittens
now.
episode, dude.
That might have to be top number 6. I don't know.
The honorable mention. Mittens and definitely the seltzer
See if
challenge.
you build.
I don't know if I'm even ready, you know, to go back. Like, that was incredible, bro. But, like, the top 5 was such a hard decision to make already as it was. Let me get back to my point, though, the TikTok. God damn it. So, you know, I still don't understand, and my people out here are going to know what I'm talking about. These guys, they hate on the stoners. I don't know why, bro. I wish I did. I've seen people on there drinking, smoking cigarettes, doing coke, blowing pills. No lie. And what happens? They just let that shit fly.
Yeah.
When I release a video where I'm using my vape pen to stop me from smoking cigarettes,
And that's too much for them.
and that's too much. They just knock me down. It's unbelievable. I don't understand it. I'm fighting with them every single week. Appeal after appeal after appeal after appeal. Like, you should see my page, Scott. I wish I could share my screen so you could see how many of these I've got. I'm going to show you. You think I'm fucking around? Watch.
Let's see this.
Watch. I like, this is unbelievable, bro. You're not even gonna understand. I know you don't know much about TikTok, dude.
I'm slowly starting to learn. I'm learning that it's a TikTok conspiracy with you.
Dude, it feels like a conspiracy. It feels like a fucking conspiracy. Like, every fucking day, it's something. But I'm not even doing anything wrong. You know, it's like I gotta argue with my mom. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. That's what it feels like, bro. That's what it feels like, and I don't. Then I gotta write back and send them pictures of my vape. I'm like, bro, this thing is what you see. That's why in green and purple, I just made it very blatant. You know? But
do you think it has something to do with using marijuana, slang in your songs, like referencing weed and smoking weed, or
how could that be the case, though?
It could be because you're talking about it. I don't know. Just trying to think what their issue could possibly be with you.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. Scott, here, listen. I don't have like the picture, but I'll show you this thing. This is what I'm talking about. All right. I made a little video to, I believe it was the Who Run It gimmick. Oh, shit, bro. Dude, yeah, that was it. Look behind my screen. You see what all that is?
Yeah.
Alert, 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 alert. Getting shit on by TikTok. Every video I release, they put me in a fucking shitter. It's like I'm in a gulag in Warzone.
Let's see it. Let me see it. Oh, those are all the alerts.
Those are all not. No, it's just all this them. A video you release that violated community guidelines. You know what? Fuck your guidelines, goddammit. You know what we need to do is we need to find somebody who can develop an app for stoners because this is fucking ridiculous, bro. You know? It's like ridiculous. Our phone's ringing. Thank God. Thank God. All right. To be blunt, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Cartman.
Who?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Who's this?
Hello?
You know what? If you guys don't want to talk to me, I mean, I can just hang out and screw you guys and go home.
Wait a second. Is that Cartman?
Sounds like he said he sounds Eric Cartman.
Is that
Hey,
Cartman?
Cartman.
Oh my god.
Cartman? What? Cartman, dude, this is amazing. Cartman from South Park called into the 2B Blood podcast?
Are you eating cheesy poofs?
You better get him like that sticky butt.
Wow!
Sorry.
Whoa!
I'm not trying to take them.
Cartman, do you smoke weed, Cartman?
Yeah, dude. I like it. I think that's really good stuff. You know what I'm saying, man?
I guess. Like, Cartman, what's your opinion on COVID-19? What do you ask Cartman? I don't know. Is that really Cartman?
I ain't got no opinion on that stuff, man. You know, you make me wear this stupid mask, and I hate it.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, not another one.
Oh, the mask.
Bro, you gotta wear the mask, bro. You're gonna get sick.
Why's Cartman gotta be so loud?
I don't know, Cartman. Wow, Cartman. Wow. Thank you for calling in. I can't believe this. Cartman from South Park. Wow.
That was nuts.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that was really the voice of Eric Cartman?
I mean, it's 3:26. Like, it's, you know, I don't know. It's like if school was in session, that'd be right up when school gets out. He's probably coming right from the bus stop right now.
That was
26, bro.
That was weird, bro.
Yeah, but they're in South Park, Colorado. It's like 3 hours behind.
True.
Bro, that was wild, bro. What the fuck was that?
He got so angry when I said cheesy poof.
Yeah, kitty.
No cheesy poop. Here we go, fellas. Celebrating the 1 year. And another blunt roll. Oh, this is getting good. Because you know what's coming up next. It's Words with Weed. It's Words with Weed, bro. Let's take this thing and then we got to talk about something. Did you guys see the Ja Rule video that just came out?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not talking a music video.
The commercial.
Legit. A commercial. Ja Rule, after getting shit on by 50 Cent all over Instagram.
He has been for years.
Oh, yeah. They've had beef forever.
That's right. Now he's making commercials, bro. Have you seen this? I'm going to play you a clip. I don't know if you've seen this. You got to hear this, though. Because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, Ja Rule has basically disappeared since the whole Firefly scandal.
Papa Cristo's food is so good, it make you want to slap your mama. Papa Cristo's got the best motherfucking gyros.
This is legit happening.
You ever ate in your life. So good. Think this.
He's pushing gyros.
Peters, Papa Cristo, Peters. They got everything. I'm gonna just give you
Peters.
some of my favorites. They got tzatziki. Hold on. Wait, but it's good. What? Avolano soup, copper pizza, and they got wine.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, come on down to Papa Cristo. You can't even pronounce it. So
yo, I can't believe Ja Rule went from making mixtapes to this.
Hey, Papa, where are you? Papa Cristo, are you here?
I don't know. Slanging chicken.
Come on down to Papa
That's a real commercial.
That's a real commercial.
That's
really
crazy.
happened. No lie, bro. No lie.
I was either thinking he knows the guy or they just gave him a shit ton of money.
They must have did something for him, but him throwing the pitas, that's what got it for me.
That was great.
Jason Brown says, get the gyros.
But I'll tell you what,
I love a good year.
He can't even pronounce half those words. This guy would not survive on Words with Weed.
He would not survive on Words with Weed. Ooh, Words with Weed's coming up soon, guys. I see our contestants getting in. I believe we're just waiting on two more. Our current champion and one more contestant. So maybe what we'll do is we'll take a quick break. We'll play the number 4 segment quick. Actually, we should do the number 4 piece, I think. The number 4 moment in the podcast. You know, I think we're going to have to get right into it. So, number 4, can you guess what it is?
The Scott's casino story?
I feel like that's top 3, I guess.
That's definitely got to be top 3, right? It's got to be top 3. It's got to be top 3. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have to tell you guys because obviously you didn't get it. But it is the debut of Words with Weeds. How did you not guess that one?
I don't know, man. There's tons of shit.
Yeah, we've done a lot in a year.
Yeah, it could have been a Stump the Scott. It could have been, what was that old segment you used to run? The dude used to call up and troll.
Oh, Trolling Loud?
Trolling Loud, yeah.
Let's get into our clip of the top 4. Number 4 moment. It is right from the debut of Words with Weed. You're up next. That's right. Are you ready to be the second contestant in history right here on Words with Weed? We have a word for you, so right now, take your biggest pull you can. Frank Knox is going to give you a word. You feel free to ask us how to use it in a sentence. I mean, spelling bee rules apply. Just remember that. Amber drinking in the corner. I like your style. Goof, yo.
How you doing, brother? That's right.
Dude, Goof.
Your word, my friend, is going to be...
He was muddy, bro.
Something I think you may enjoy taking once in a while.
Oh, shit.
Hallucinogen.
Oh. Hallucinogen, that's it.
Hallucinogen.
1 minute on the clock. Your time starts now.
Where is Scott?
I missed this episode. I think.
Where was Scott?
I had to work.
Damn! He takes them, but he doesn't know how to spell them.
Oh!
I told him, dude. All right, hallucinogen. HY. Oh, that's not right.
I think he's trying to spell hydro.
For whatever reason, I was just thinking it was Y and it's psychedelic.
That is true.
30 seconds, Goof. 30 seconds.
I don't know.
He's not even going to try.
What? Hill, HIL, I don't know. I suck.
I feel better now, though. Come on.
You should really feel better. I can cook anything.
Well, he's got 10 seconds. It's not even close, bro. Not even close. Wow. Sorry, Goof.
Well,
you also have been disqualified.
So, for everyone out there, hallucinogen. H-A...
Wow. That was literally that was the debut of Words with Weeds. And now the contestants who are tuned in know what they're getting into. So I hope you guys are ready, because what's coming up next is the hottest game show on the highest podcast of all time. Am I right? It's going to get lit right here on the 2B Blunt Podcast. We'll be right back.
The word is going to be quarantine.
Oh, a word that you should all know by now. Because we've been talking about it nonstop for the past, what?
I feel like I was just on another planet.
Roll up.
Let's go.
Brand new bag of weed, fuck a cop car. Blood up to my lips like I'm a punk. Yeah. Only real stoners keep the weed in glass jars. Bitch, this ain't no Reggie, this the loud. My love told me to promise you gon' smoke me. You better never settle for no sticky seeds. Soon as you re-up it, you better get to rolling. If it ain't enough, go get the rig. I'm burning on the finest grade, you better know. I ain't never burning brown, better be that dro. If you see me on the streets, you already know. Get high rapper, yeah, I be the whole show. Everybody wanna go against me. I'll be smoking on the finest loud packs you can see. And I'm burning every pea that I see, and you know it's me. Sitting on the scene, on that green, and you know it's me. Everybody try to hold me down, but I'm finna blow. TikTok on a sense of me, man, I'm gonna show. Show them how we finna go up to the top. Even Charlie gonna know who be running TikTok though. Let me get that 50K a video. Ballin' out like Diddy back in 94. I'm here to rep the stoners everywhere I go. Get high rapper, bitch, now you know. Brand new bag of weed, fuck a cop car. Blood up to my lips like I'm a punk. Yeah. Only real stoners keep the weed in glass jars. Bitch, this ain't no Reggie, this the loud. My love told me to promise you gon' smoke me. You better never settle for no sticky seeds. Soon as you re-up it, you better get to rolling. If it ain't enough, go get the rig. Get the rig.
We're rolling the fattest bloods. It's to be Bloods with PZ.
That's right, yo. Can you move your can a little bit? Slide it over a little bit, your can. 2B Blood Podcast. We're back, baby. We have contestants lined up. I still don't know where our champion is. This is devastating. Unfortunately,
that means the title might be up for grabs.
Yeah, she's forfeiting her crown.
She might be forfeiting, I guess. We'll find out. I'll give her a minute. It's about to go down. The hottest game show and highest podcast. Right here. Are you ready? It's happening whether it happens. Oh, we got two. Why did this guy got here twice?
I do want to say, when she won the title, didn't she do a late run-in?
Yes, she is. She's a late run-in.
Yeah, she did that last time. Didn't she join in at the end and won?
She did.
Yeah, typical Amber.
Our champion. What's up, Amber?
What's up?
I wasn't sure you were going to make it. We got worried you were going to forfeit your title or something.
No, hell no. I'm here. Let's do it.
Yeah, she's super fired up.
I wonder how many people we can fit on the screen. We're gonna figure this out. So we have a few people here we're gonna play up. You have a long list of contenders known as the 420 Hype House, the stoners of TikTok. First, we got Waken Bakery. What's up, man?
What's up, yo?
What's up? We got Justin Lane.
Hey, what's up, my guy?
Oh, what up?
We got Dave Mortz. There he is.
What up?
Dr. Sugar Free.
Poppin'.
Let's go.
And apparently we got to pull one out. So real quick, what we're going to do is introduce our last contestant. RJMF Morgan. I love how nobody's got real names. I don't know what the fuck to call you guys, other than what's on the screen.
Dr. Sugar. Dave Mort seems like a real name.
Yeah, my name's real.
Yeah, Justin, of course. Justin, too. Are you guys ready to play the hottest game show on the highest podcast of all time? It's Words with Weed, baby. Words with Weed. Who should we pick first? Who do you think, Frank?
Well, the champion usually goes last.
Champion's last. Let's pull her out. Let's pull the contenders in.
All right.
Who are we going to go with first?
Let's just go with the guy here in the bottom left.
Dr. Sugar Free. Let's do it.
I'm going to see if his doctorate's in word spelling right here.
Dr. Sugar Free, are you ready?
Yeah, he turns it up.
I don't know what's going on. Listen, here's the rules. All right, you guys can all hear me. So here's the rules. This is spelling bee style, but stoned. You have to take a rip of weed. I give you then the word. At that point, you say the word once, you spell it, and when you have your final answer, you say it again. So example, cat, C-A-T, cat. You guys get it? Everyone give me a little head nod. Let me know. We good? Then let's get into it.
Our contestant, I haven't heard of.
Dr. Sugar Free, can you hear us? Okay. Well, you know what?
You got scared.
We're going to go right in.
Oh,
it looks like Justin Lane is our first contender. Are you ready?
All right.
We'll play the hottest game show and the highest podcast of all time?
He's back, but
it doesn't matter. Yeah. We'll go back to him. All right. You understand the rules. Here is the first word. Are you guys ready?
He's got to take the rip first, though, right?
You got to take a rip of weed. Hey, all right. Now we're talking.
Wow, he's got the bong in the car.
The bong in the car. I love it. This guy's great. This guy's great. All right. Your word is catastrophe. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
CASTROPHORY.
I'm sorry, that is not correct.
The word again, though. You know, that was concerning. He didn't lock his answer in.
He didn't lock his answer in?
He didn't say catastrophe afterwards. It's a very important rule that when you have your final answer, you repeat the word.
Okay, your rules were a little buggy in my ear.
All right. So we give him another one?
It's up to you.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I would.
All right, it looks like you're getting one more chance here. Are you ready? We gotta make this a good one. He's taking another rip of weed. I love it. All right. Your word is hemorrhage. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. Hemorrhage.
HEMORAGE. Hemorrhage.
I'm sorry, Justin. That is not correct. It is HEMORRHAGE. Thank you for playing, Justin. We appreciate you being on the 2B Blood podcast. 420 Hype House for life. Thanks, man.
Hey,
thanks for tapping in, man.
All right.
We gotta go back.
This is last chance. Dr. Sugar Free. Can you hear us now?
What's poppin'?
All right, there he is. I love it.
I can hear you now.
Thank God. Do you understand the rules or you need me to repeat them?
Let's go over one more time just in case I'm a little too zooted.
You take one rip of weed. I give you the word. You say the word. You spell the word. And when you figure out that you have your final answer for your spelling, you say the word one more time. For example, cat, C-A-T, cat. And that locks in your answer. You get 60 seconds.
Let's go for it.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your word.
Ready. Let's go.
Is. Oh, man. I was going to give him a good one.
Did he take a rip yet? He's got to take the rip first.
No, you got to take the rip first, of course.
Oh, he's got the Star Wars piece. I dig it. Stormtrooper.
Let's go.
Your word is kaleidoscope. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Kaleidoscope. Kaleidascope. Kaleidoscope.
Oh, no. Sorry, Dr. Sugar Free. The correct spelling is Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. Thank you for playing Words with Weed. I'm smoking a blunt. Wow. Doobie Blunt, we appreciate you. Thanks again, man. Wow. All right, I think we might be able to pull the rest of our contestants up. What's up, guys?
What up?
He's been out, yeah.
That's right. Everybody else is in, right? We got everybody?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Down to 4.
The final 4.
The final 4.
So far, the first 2 have not gotten the word correct.
We have 2 incorrect answers. You guys, Amber, I thought she was going to have tough competition, but maybe, the spelling queen will reign. The spelling queen might reign here tonight, but we don't know because there's still 3 more contenders coming for that title for the chance to win a King Pop prize pack with enough smoking supplies to get you through a month, or an exclusive bong from the 2B Blunt podcast. That's right. This is it. If you can dethrone our champion, you might have a special prize coming to you. Who are we going to pick next, Frank?
It's up to you, man. I guess we'll just go with the guy dancing.
The guy dancing? All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Dave
we
Mortz.
got more than one dancing, but...
That's all right. Dave Mortz. Are you ready to play the hottest game show on the highest podcast of all time?
I'm ready. Let's go.
I like it. I like his enthusiasm. You have to take a rip of weed first, and I will give you your word.
Bet.
Bongs have been popular tonight. We got Amber just chiefing a bowl the whole time. The guy in the top right, I think he's smoking a joint or a blunt.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. We got the rip. Are you ready? The word is phenomenon. 60 seconds on the clock.
Phenomenon.
Your time starts now.
Phenomenon. PHENOMENON. Phenomenon.
He's got it! He's got it, Dave Mortz!
Good work.
You are still in! You are still in! You have survived!
Finally.
That's it! Looks like the game's on, baby! The game is on! Up next! RTF Morgan, baby! Don't worry about it. Are you ready to play the hottest game show and the highest podcast of all time? I'm going to take it as a yes. Looks like he's smoking already. I like that. He's ready to go.
I don't think he's got sound.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're good.
Okay, cool.
All right. Here we go. Let's give him his word. It looks like he's already been smoking. So your first, or not your first, but your next word is perseverance. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
PERSI. I already spelled it wrong.
You got 60 seconds. You got 60 seconds. Take your time. Yo, my man's lit.
PERSERV. Man, I shouldn't have smoked this whole time. VONCE.
I'm right with you, RJ.
Was that the answer?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
You got it.
Wow.
Yes!
PERSERVERANCE. Wow. I didn't thought that was going to be a hard one.
I did. I was sweating. I'm sweating now.
Wicked Bakery, you're up. Are you ready to play the hottest game show on the highest podcast of all time? The words just get better from here. He's taking his rip. I'm guessing. I can't tell because he's doing a TikTok style off camera.
Gotta be safe.
All right, your word is simultaneous. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Simultaneous. SIMULTANEOUS. Simultaneous.
Wow! Okay. So, we have 2 wrong, but now we have 3 in a row that are right.
And now we're going to our champion.
We're going on to the champion. Amber, are you ready?
I guess.
Spelling Queen is going to be up on the hottest game show, on the highest podcast of all time. And I can't take it easy on her.
Right.
That's for sure.
Vamos.
So your word is stroganoff. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
All right, stroganoff. STROGANOFF. Stroganoff.
We're left with 4 still. We got to start back over, right? The run pace keeps going. We got to pass it to the left.
That's right. We got to keep going. We got to turn it up a notch.
That's it. Dave Mortz, are you ready? You're up again. I'm going to have to really spice it up. Right here. Are you ready to play the hottest game show on the highest podcast of all time? Let's do it. To be blunt, phone lines are open. 860-384-7110. Maybe you got a word. I want to hear it. Dave Mortz, your word is reminiscence. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Good. Reminiscence. REMENSCE. Reminiscence.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. You've been eliminated from To Be Blunt. I'm sorry. You weren't even close, though. Reminiscence, REMINISCENCE. It was a tough one. I told you we were going to pick it up this round. You guys think it got easier? No, it's going to get much harder. It's going to get much harder. RTF Morgan, are you ready?
Oh, hold on.
What a fucking name.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say that every time. Oh, he's hitting it again. He's hitting it again. This is not easy for them. I mean, this has really turned out to be quite the game.
I don't think we've ever had 4 people get it right in the first round.
Oh, your word.
This is unprecedented.
And you should know this one. Your word is paraphernalia. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Oh my god. I should be able to spell this. Paraphernalia. PARAPH. NELA. Paraphernalia.
Oh, I'm sorry. RTF Morgan. The correct spelling is PARAPHERNALIA.
He had me in suspense during that pause.
Sorry. Contestants have been kicked out and disqualified. We thank you for coming on and playing Words with Weed. We hope you'll be back. Because this won't be the last time. It won't be the last time. Let's go down and bring it right into our final 2. Waken Bakery.
Amber's gone.
And, well, it doesn't matter because she's not up anyways. Are you ready for your next word?
Ready.
Okay. We got to make it a hard one, don't we? I mean, we really got to spice it up. So here we go. Your word is masquerade. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Masquerade. MASQUERADE. Masquerade.
Oh, wow. Wow! He didn't even hesitate. That was impressive. Holy shit! I can't believe it.
The pressure's to the champ.
Wow.
now.
I know, Amber. You got your work cut out for you here.
I'm not used to this.
Well, I'm not either. I mean, this is the longest. I've never had it come this far. You know, this is usually it's a round, and then it's over.
We're running out of words over here.
I'm not running out of words. I got a whole dictionary worth of words. I just want to make sure I give her the good one. I think Scott's gonna like this next one. Amber, are you ready to play the hottest game show and the hottest podcast of all time?
Sure am.
Your word is guillotine. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Guillotine. Guillotine.
Wow.
Yo, what are we gonna do here? These two are neck and neck. By the time this gets done, we're all gonna be so lit. It's not even gonna matter who wins.
All right, they moved. We're on to round 3 now?
We're on to round 3. I really gotta pull out the stops. All right, here we go. I don't even remember who's up. I'm so high. Waken Bakery.
Round 3.
That's right.
Scott, you're a ring girl now?
I'm a ring guy. I'm holding
This
up the
is
sign.
honestly, this is something that's very popular right now. Your word is boysenberry. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Oh, Scott's got one.
Was that poisonberry or boysenberry?
Boysenberry.
Boysenberry.
Oh, he's thinking, baby. He's thinking.
I can't hear it, right? Can you use it in a sentence?
Boysenberry. Boysenberry.
Oh, okay.
I took a bite
Boysenberry.
of boysenberry and it tastes delicious.
Okay, boysenberry. Boisenberry.
I'm sorry. Boysenberry is spelled B-O-S. Oh, B-O-Y-S-E-N.
Yeah.
B-E-R-R-Y. So how does this work now? If Amber doesn't get it right.
Yeah, we gotta see what she does.
This is unprecedented times we're in, isn't it, Scott?
But sometimes tie goes to the runner, and she's already the champ, so
Ooh,
we'll have to see what happens.
I don't know. Tell us in the comments what you think. All right, Amber.
Name of both champions. They could be tag team champions.
Tag team champion.
Co-champion.
I feel like we need a winner. I don't care how long this takes. We'll go to after the blood.
I mean, we do have enough King Palm accessories.
We still have a half a blunt sitting in front of me. What are you going to do? I mean, this got to happen. Round 4. Hold it up, Scott. Let's get into it.
Round 3.
I'll still round 3.
Yeah.
All right. Amber, your word. Aficionado. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
Aficionado. A-F-F-I-C-I-O-N-A-D-O. Yeah. I'm stoned. Shit.
Is that...
Wait, what was the word? Aficionado.
Aficionado.
Oh! No, there's not 2 F's in that word. A-F-I-C-I-C. You distracted me. A-I-C-I-C-O.
Wait a second, what's going on here?
O-N-A-D-O. Aficionado.
I don't know. It sounded like she had assistants in the background.
I'm in a very small bathroom.
Here in the bathroom.
That's it. She got it. We have our champion, Amber. You have gone through another week. Waken Bakery, thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you being on the show. We hope to have you back. Thank you for joining the 2B Blood Podcast. Amber, how the fuck have you done it again?
I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know. Every week you come back more impressive than the last.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still Words with Weed champion, Amber.
That's right. The longest Words with Weed ever. We went 3 rounds from 6 7 contestants down the one. You survived the gauntlet. Thank you so much, Amber.
Thank you so much.
I got a special prize I'm going to send out to you this week. We're going to send you a bong from the 2B Blunt podcast for being our reigning champion. So be on the lookout for that. We have your info already, so we'll send that one right out to you this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
And you know what?
That went the distance.
One of those words was stroganoff, and as the king of the dad jokes over here, this is a joke that my dad used to tell me when I was little.
You got jokes? I want to hear it.
And it's, what do you call a cow masturbating? Beef stroganoff.
Oh, ew, dude. I don't know about all that, bro. I don't know about all that. Let's get into our next top moment from the podcast. Right here.
Laughter in the background. The laugh by.
What happened?
The laughs. The pop for me was kind of hilarious.
You always get the pop, Scott.
Oh, you know what pop I'm ready for? I want to hear the pop for number 3 top moment in the history of the 2B Blunt podcast.
Looks like this podcast is going to be going to overtime.
Overtime. 2B Blunt podcast. We'll be right back.
Alex Jones here with no degenerate globalist and prominent cannabis enthusiast PZ.
Wait a second. Well, this is my show, man. What are you doing?
Not anymore. Everybody knows the eagle isn't on the flea. Today we're going to talk about Area 51. Everybody knows PZ is sociopathic, congenital liar, whereas myself, I'm a known truth teller. You can just read my book, Losing the News, The Future of the News That Feeds Democracy, and you will see that I'm an honest man.
Oh, my God, Frank, this is taking a turn for the worst, man.
Who does this guy
think he is? How dare you come on my show and talk shit about me?
Don't trust these guys. You storm Area 51 and reveal the truth. Everybody knows the government is holding back on their accelerated mutagenics program.
What?
They're setting up standardized total surveillance to control breakaway civilizations. There's things going on you couldn't even fathom.
Wow, man,
Americans have the right to know the truth, and we're going to get it.
Wow, we're going to get the truth, Frank.
Speaking of which, head over to Infowars.com.
Wait, what the hell's this?
Shop for survival gear, bug-out bags, and wellness supplements made from only the best product money can buy. Infowars.
Good, your boy the coach. The WWE Golf Channel, PGA Tour, EA Sports Madden. You know what time it is. 2B Blunt Podcast with my boys, Frank Knox and Peasy.
When it comes to sports, there's only one man for the job. The best analysis in the game right here from the 2B Blood Newsroom. It's Frank Knox.
That's right, Frank Knox, baby. Frank Knox is sports, and we have a special guest joining us, Frank, don't we?
That we do.
Joining us right now from the Jay Stevens podcast, it's Jay Stevens himself. What's up, man?
No sound.
Oh, I don't know why he has no sound.
Number 4 is down?
No,
he's
not us.
Not number 4? Okay.
Bro, we don't hear you. I don't know why it's not.
No sound. Weird.
Huh. Yeah, we're up, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right, you want to try to figure it out with him, and I'll just get in the first topic of sports. It's
Yeah.
All right. So, I don't know if you guys know, but this weekend is the biggest professional sports event in Connecticut. And that's the Travelers Championship happening right here in Cromwell, Connecticut.
Well, I forgot all about it.
Me too.
I used to work on that course.
Me too. When I was a kid, I used to volunteer when they would have the tournament, and I'd be the guy that would carry the sign of the score for the foursome or the twosome, whatever it was at the time.
All right.
And I would walk the whole course with the professional players holding the sign of their score and changing it. It was pretty cool. But man, so no crowd. It sucks because the weather's nice, and I would definitely be spending at least one day in Cromwell this weekend if I could. So we got Phil Mickelson, Rory McIlroy in the hunt. They're 7 under. We got Mackenzie Hughes. He's 10 under, first round, impressive score. So we'll see what the weekend brings.
And Mickelson's the first ever back-to-back champion on that course, by the way.
That's correct. That is correct. And I think I was there both years he won it. I I would go every year, man, like clockwork. It was like the only professional sports in Connecticut because there's no Whalers, there's no NBA, there's no MLB, NFL, etc. So yeah, I mean, we got Jay Stevens hopping in.
Yeah, he's tapping. He's switching to his phone.
All right.
And it's his birthday, apparently.
Oh, it's Jay's birthday.
Am I reading that right?
Unless there's another Jay. How many Jays we got?
I mean, I'm Frank, so.
All right, Frank.
To be Frank.
Yes. So, I don't know if you guys heard, but big news. The MLB is finally coming back. It's official. They're heading back. 60-game season. I know last week you heard me fired up. You guys heard me, and I was also on another podcast fired up about the MLB. But they're finally back, and it's going to be a 60-game season.
That's it. Jay, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, there it is. All right. What's up, man?
Yes. What's up, guys? I'm glad we got it worked out. Happy to be here with you.
We were talking MLB. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, I was just telling everyone that MLB's finally reached an agreement to return back to baseball for a 60-game season starting July 23rd or 24th.
Yeah, they did. I was a little... I'm like everybody else, not happy that it took so long to get here. But we can look at the past and everything. I'm glad we're finally here. We're finally getting baseball, some sports to come back. I know normalcy. I know it's entertainment, but there's jobs tied to it. And so that's the main reason why I'm excited to have baseball back, because people can start getting paid again.
Yeah, man, it's going to be great. And it's going to be, I think, one of the craziest seasons we're going to see in our lifetime in the MLB, because you're going to have guys potentially hitting 400 or higher because it's only 60 games. And it's going to be just a dogfight, a sprint to start to finish, which is usually a long, drawn-out 162-game season compacted 60 games.
Right, yeah. It'll be interesting to see kind of how the initial kind of first few weeks are, first few games. They're probably going to play 13 games in 2 weeks. That's what I'm assuming. So they're going to be playing way more frequently than normal. There's no days off like we all love. But I'm excited to see kind of the early season start, how people kind of get acclimated to not playing baseball until this part of the season, and then the late game push to see who's fighting, maybe literally fighting, to get that last little bit of the playoff spot.
Yeah, man, I agree. It's going to be a heck of a season. There's still a lot of unknowns, like when the playoffs are going to be, if it's going to be regular playoffs, when the World Series is going to be, and if there's going to be an All-Star game. And, you know, one of the biggest events of the baseball season, which is the Home Run Derby. Mm-hmm. And personally, I don't think they should even waste their time of doing that, because, as you know, the Home Run Derby does kind of influence a player's swing later in the season. It's just shown that it's always happened. So what's your take on not having an All-Star game this season for the MLB?
I go back to the first thing that pops into my mind is 1999 in the NBA when they had the lockout. I don't think it started the season until either Christmas or later after that in January. So there was no All-Star game, no dunk contest, no three-point contest, no nothing that season. And it made a lot of sense. Nobody goes back and says, oh, there was no All-Star game that year. We really missed out on it. I think baseball is going to be the same way. No All-Star game, no Home Run Derby. Yes, us as fans, we get to miss out. But at the same time, Major League Baseball, this is what they have to do to finish their season. And cutting things out is what's going to happen. And those two events, even though they're major for fans, major for viewing and ratings and all that stuff, they have to cut some things out just to finish the season in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I agree. It's just unfortunate that they didn't get started on this earlier. I've always been a believer they should have and could have been the first sport back to playing, and they really kind of dropped the ball, but I'm glad that they finally were able to put that all behind them and just finally get something out on the field, even if it's only 60 games.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've been on the train of, why are you guys waiting so long? What's the holdup? I mean, there's people, if you're complaining over money, over 40 million people have filed for unemployment in America, and I get it, you guys are millionaires and billionaires, but there's also baseball players that are missing out on money because of it taking so long. You have minor league baseball players that have no season. So even the single A and then the rookie ball in those leagues there, those guys are getting nothing. And if Major League Baseball would have got this together and put it together sooner, those lower-end guys, not just low-end in Major League Baseball, but your AAA, your AA, your single A, and even the lower level of rookie league ball, those guys would have gotten a check, would have gotten something in their pocket.
Yep.
But right now they don't. And the owners, the players, they can say whatever they want to, but they could have gotten this thing done 2 months ago. Baseball, a social distancing sport.
Yes.
They could have found a way to make it work, but here we are now in late June. Actually, today, this just popped into my mind. Today is your 1 year anniversary of the podcast. Today's my birthday, actually.
Happy
so we're celebrating two things on the same day.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, baseball had all the facilities to make this happen with all their spring training parks, their minor league parks. And not only could have those minor league players got a check, but they could have gotten exposure. Because, with no other sport being on TV, you would have seen AAA, AA, single A picking up TV deals just temporarily on ESPN's or the Fox Sports, just so the sports network could put something out there for the viewers.
Oh yeah. They could have gotten viewership. Luckily, some of them still will because they will still have a chance to make a Major League Baseball roster. So some of them still will be able to get some exposure, more exposure than they normally would. But you're exactly right. There are a lot of guys that are missing out right now because baseball is not going to play until the end of July. And they not just their pocketbook, but their careers could be halted or slowed down or just being completely different off of this whole season being obsolete in their careers.
Yeah, you're right, man. So I'm glad that they finally put something together. They could have done it a lot sooner, but I got to just be happy and move forward. And I'm looking forward to the NFL. The NFL said, green light, all things go, nothing's going to be affected. We're going to start on time. And then now we have the Hall of Fame game canceled between the Cowboys and the Steelers in August. And now you see the NFL going to have to backpedal on their words because Roger Goodell and the owners are making it seem like everything's going to happen. There's going to be fans in the stadiums. But I honestly do not see that happening for at least the first half of the NFL season. If they're going to do this, they have to do it safely.
Yeah, do it safely. The canceling of the Hall of Fame game, I'm surprised it took this long to do it. I know the NFL is trying to wait until the very last minute to cancel things, not just because football is king, but they literally have until the beginning of September to start their season. So they have time to either change their calendar or cancel things on their calendar till the very last minute. But when you think of a time like this, yeah, I'm kind of on the train. The Hall of Fame game, that's possibly the first half of that, the first quarter, that's possibly the only preseason game some people even watch because it's on national TV and you have the national broadcasters. Outside of that, preseason, nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about that at all. So the Hall of Fame game being canceled, I wouldn't be shocked if they canceled all but two of the preseason games because you want players to get some type of repetition and some type of hitting before going full tilt in the regular season of the National Football League. When it comes to the fans in the stands, I think right now it's almost like right now a lot of people see no fans going. And I had people text me today and say, Jay, I don't see how fans can go in the beginning of the season. It didn't matter if you're for going to games or not going to games. We are June 25th. A lot can change between now and July 25th, August 25th.
So true.
But for the safety purposes, I wouldn't be surprised if they just said nobody's going to go to games. But I also got an alert on my phone today, not football, but in baseball, that Wrigley Field may see fans there, and they may even open the upper deck. I believe it's what the update said. So I know that it'd be a safety thing. A lot of people want a vaccine. But you got a lot of fans out there that they don't care. They'll go to games, they'll wear masks, they'll sign a waiver, they don't care. So if the NFL wants to allow some way to get some money, which I know they do, and allow fans to enjoy the game, I know they do, maybe they'll pull a waiver in like we've seen some colleges do. Maybe they may say, hey, with your ticket, not a signed waiver like a paper, but hey, electronically, or just say, hey, if you're going to come to the game, your temperature has to be taken before you come in. I mean, there's ways to get around it, but once again, June 25th. No matter what side of the fence you're on, It's June 25th, and a lot can change over the next month, but I would not be shocked if no fans went at the beginning of the season.
I agree.
I hear that.
I agree, but I know I listened to your podcast the other day, and this is something that I want to bring up, is Jamal Adams' saga with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to go, like you said, he went to social media. He's made it public now that he's got a team wish list, and at the top of the list, from what I've read, is the Dallas Cowboys. He's gone there. There's social media video. You're trying to come to Dallas. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get here. I'm trying to make it happen. I mean, Scott, you're a New York Jets fan.
Right.
The catalyst of your defense, of a team that's just basically in shambles, that hasn't done anything right.
It's kind of been in shambles for a while, but
since they picked up Brett Favre on a late retirement stint, and I feel it's the last time the Jets have been relevant. And their franchise player, their difference maker, one of the top playmakers in the NFL, wants out, and he wants to go to the Cowboys. I mean, what do you think about that?
It is what it is. I mean, whatever. I mean, nothing the Jets do surprise me anyway, so not anymore.
Really? You're a big Jets fan, Scott.
I am. I've been since I was a kid.
He is. This guy really is. He's a Jets fan.
I didn't jump a shift.
He's got his Jets cooler here. Brings it every day.
Every week he's got a Jets
I wore my
cooler.
Jets shirt to the gym this morning.
Of course you did. That's amazing.
But it's crazy now in the NFL or any sport that you just have to make things public to kind of get your way, and it's kind of getting out of control in my mind. What's your opinion on players just speaking out and saying I don't want to be here anymore? But you signed the contract, you knew you were getting in for. I mean, you got to just sit there and fulfill your end of the agreement, don't you think?
I believe so. I know sports is also different than your average job, because there are clauses in the contract that do allow for what he's trying to get done. Make it go. I don't like the way that he did, but I understand you're disgruntled. You don't like the way that things are going. I know it's 1 year under Adam Gase. You went 7-9. You don't like some things that Adam Gase did, but it's also his first year there. There are going to be some growing pains. There are going to be some new things that get added. And so he goes to social media. But at the same time, it's kind of how sports work. Not that I'm a big fan of it, but sometimes when players don't like how things are going, they go to social media. They don't go to that individual first. They don't go to the person they're upset with, the coach, the offensive coordinator, whatever it is, the GM, and say, hey, we need to talk. I don't like what's going on. You and I don't see eye to eye on this issue. We need to talk. Jamal Adams with the social media. Jamal Adams put his list out. Originally, I think the list I saw was maybe 7 teams, and of course, you want to add the Buccaneers on there because of Tom Brady and Gronkowski. Everybody wants to play with Tom because Tom wins rings, and I get it. But at the same time, he could have handled it a whole lot different. It's also like the same sport, football, different level of college with Mike Gundy and Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard went to social media first, and then afterwards retract his statements. Went to the head coach Mike Gundy. Talked to him man-to-man, face-to-face, and then kind of went the opposite way, maybe the way he should have gone first. And Jamal Adams, the same thing, but we're used to this with Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams, if he's upset, he says things. If he doesn't like things, he says it. And now he's already made it clear, without having it given to his agent to request a trade, that Jamal Adams already knows, I want to go to the Cowboys. And, hey, Jamal Adams, if you're listening to this, if you're watching, hey, I got some words for you. I want to go. If I was in your position, I'd want to play for the Cowboys too. But at the same time, there's a part of your contract you got to honor, and just keep going with it, keep rolling with it, because the Cowboys are good. I like them. They're talented. Yeah, you can say whatever you want about Jerry Jones. They got Mike McCarthy, new blood, new ideas. But hey, man, I don't understand you, because being in New York, I know you're a Jets fan. New York sports right now, it's a hot mess. Yeah, I know the Yankees got Garrett Cole. The Yankees fans are happy, but at the same time, Jets, Knicks. I don't know how the Knicks fans, how the New York sports fans do it, because I wouldn't want to go there either. If I had my choice between the Jets and the Cowboys, my first option would be the Cowboys every single day.
Sorry, Scott.
Like I said, it is what it is. I can't blame him one bit.
The Cowboys are good, man. The Cowboys have a hell of a team on paper this year. They really do. So all the teams Jamal Adams has chosen, he wants to go to immediate Super Bowl contenders, especially adding him on that roster. they're one step better than they were today. But yeah, I want to end this with paying my respects to one of my favorite North Carolina Tar Heels and NBA players, the greatest dunker of all time. After 22 years, Vince Carter, a.k.a. Vince Sanity, is hanging up the shoes and calling it quits after a great
Vince
career.
Carter?
Yeah, he started off with the Raptors playing with his cousin Tracy McGrady, and those two together on a court, man, was something special. I don't know if you guys watched the Raptors when Vince Carter and McGrady were on the same team, but man, that was a heck of a duo.
This is true. They really were.
Yeah.
They really were. Vince Carter left his mark on the league, though, you know?
I mean,
the dude, he was great.
The dunk contest?
Yeah. That was the start of his blow up right there was that dunk contest.
And then the Olympics when he jumped over the Chinese player.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
That's probably one of the best posters that's going to ever live in basketball history.
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
So I want to ask you, Jay, do you think Vince Carter is Hall of Fame worthy?
Ooh,
great career.
Why'd you put me on the spot? Man.
Long career, but besides dunking, do you think he's Hall of Fame worthy? Personally, I'm going to say no.
I was going to say no before you, because one thing I like about Vince Carter, he transformed his career. Because if you think about the early young Vince Carter, North Carolina Vince Carter, and then when he got to the Toronto Raptors, like you mentioned, Tracy McGrady, I think it was 2001. I believe it was the Raptors and the 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That was the Vince Carter and Allen Iverson. I believe that was that year that Iverson went to the finals, lost to the Lakers in 5. But Vince Carter early on, he was an all-star. He was a guy who could average 20 points a game. He was a dunker. He was a high flyer. He was a slasher. Yeah, all of a sudden, his knees gave out.
Yep.
And when he had the knee issues, he had two options. And some guys aren't able to transform their career the way that Vince Carter did. Am I going to be I can't be the same guy. So how am I going to play? Am I just going to fold up and call it quits and go home and not play basketball anymore?
No.
Or am I going to take a more of a backseat role, a bench role, maybe a 6-man role, be more of a leadership on the team? He has guys now in the NBA that were on his team that weren't alive when he came into the NBA. So now he's like, okay, I'm the old guy. These guys don't know me. They don't know that I jumped over a 7-footer in the Olympics. They weren't alive when that happened. So now I have to be the old guy on the team. So I'll give him props for that, because over the past 5, 6, 7 years, we saw, even more recently, we saw Vince Carter transform his career, be the leader that the coaches needed him to be, still play. 22 years, my goodness, I am shocked that he lasted this long. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think it's a knock for his career either. I think the Hall of Fame is left for the elite of the elite. He was great at one point, but I think he's a really good basketball player, good now in his career. Well, below average, honestly. But I think what sticks out for him is his leadership and the ability to play 22 years in the association.
I totally agree. You couldn't have said it better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nailed it.
Well, man, we appreciate you having taking the time to come on the podcast this week, talk a little sports with us.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
And happy birthday again.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Let's do a birthday shot for the birthday boy right here. All right. That's right.
You can check you out on Jay Stevens Podcast on all platforms?
Yes, sir. Jay Stevens Podcast on all platforms, your Apple, your Stitcher, your Spotify, your iHeartRadio. If you're on Twitter, I plug this all the time, at JStevens07 on Twitter. You can find me on there. Pretty active. But I'll definitely be way more active once sports get back very, very soon.
Hell yeah, bro. We hope you come back on the show, man. It was nice to have you here, dude. You're awesome.
Yeah. Man, thanks. I know there was a malfunction with the microphone. Had to switch to the old school headphones, but it worked out.
Just
perfect. Let me know when, guys. I'm down.
All right, man. Thank you. Brother.
Yes.
All right, man.
Wow, that was awesome. Jay Stevens.
Wow. I got a little treat, though. I got a little special Undertaker top 5.
Oh, wait a second.
I want to roll.
You're going to do a top 5 right here live.
Yeah,
on the podcast.
With The Undertaker hanging it up this Father's Day, as you guys watched the final episode of The Last Ride, was it Chapter 5?
Yes, Chapter 5. It was amazing.
I got to thinking, man, what are my top 5 Undertaker moments, matches of all time? So I said, man, I'll throw together a Frank Knox top 5. Gosh. So here it is.
Frank Knox top 5. Frank Knox top 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are dialed in to another edition of the Frank Knox Top 5. Today, Frank is going to give you his top 5 Undertaker moments. Number 5.
Number 5. It happened this year, and it happens to be his last match, the Boneyard match.
Oh, that was a great one.
Excellent match. Number 4.
1990, where it all began, baby. Survivor Series.
In our backyard, Hartford, Connecticut. Number 3.
Fast forward to 1 year later, his first title win over Hulk Hogan at the 91 Survivor Series.
And then 3 days later, Tuesday in Texas ruined it all. But number...
It really did, though, didn't it? Tuesday in Texas ruined the whole thing.
It kind of did. Number... I want to say we're on 2.
One of my favorite matches of all time. WrestleMania 25 against Shawn Michaels.
Classic. And your Frank Knox number 1 Undertaker moment is...
Oh my God, he killed him! 98, King of the Ring, throwing Mankind off the cell, through the cell. Man, what a match.
Incredible match.
Incredible.
I mean, I think Undertaker, I think of that match, no matter what. And there's so many other great ones, like the casket match with Yokozuna, his feud with Kane, his match with Triple H.
That's the thing about Taker. He made Mankind maybe a little bit earlier, but he solidified Mick Foley after that match. And he's done it throughout his career. He did it with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
He made him into a superstar in that ladder match on Raw. Like, that's what The Undertaker does, man. I mean, like, he's... Whew, you have a good match with Taker, you're made.
I'm going to take it to another level. All right, I got a question for the both of you. This is on the fly right now. What is what is your favorite version? Oh, son of a bitch. 2B Blood Podcast, what's the name where you call it from?
This is Jim, the LWDGM.
Oh, it's Jim Bone Slice. What's up, Jim?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, Jim.
We're trying to talk about The Undertaker.
First of all, I want to say happy anniversary.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jim.
It's not like you just woke up from a nap.
No, I didn't. I'm dead.
He's been commenting the whole show. He's been up for at least an hour and a half.
So mellow, bro. Unless not like he's high, but I know this guy don't smoke.
No, you guys are high. I just want to be peaceful.
I'm real high right now.
So that's why I'm being quiet.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway,
Jim, you want to talk Undertaker moments?
Yeah, what else you want to say, man?
I want to bring up 3 things. 1.
3 things?
Is, they're quick. The first thing is that I was at the Survivor Series when Undertaker debuted.
In Hartford, he was there.
And he freaked me out.
So you were there live. Did he freak you out more than when you saw the gobbledygooker hatch out of the egg?
I had no idea. What was going on with that. I think my stepfather and I walked out of the building at that point.
Excellent question.
So anyway,
so that's number 1. Number 2
is I don't know if sports are actually going to happen.
Fucking bullshit!
They're happening. They're going to happen. UFC's happening.
I don't know how
it happened.
Right, but they're not traveling as 30, 40, 50, 60 deep.
Motherfucker piece of shit.
But listen, the MLB could easily transition to Florida and Arizona only because they have all the spring training facilities already in place. If there's no crowd, then they don't need to go to the big ballpark.
But you mean where the virus is spiking right now?
Well, wrestlers are traveling a lot, and there's been positive cases of COVID, and they're probably still going to air SmackDown on Friday.
Over 14 cases in WWE right now.
Is that like breaking news?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it spread like wildfire. Was it Kaylee Braxton?
Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. No selling with a Scott. Stick a rune for
Stick around
for after the blunt.
Stick around.
Poor guy gets after a blunt back-to-back shows. We got to put him on the front end of the card.
I think maybe next week we'll do the. It's
all right.
We'll do the Scott first.
But Jim, what else you got? Because we got to get to our top 2 moments before we sign off. At least on our live feed.
We already did our top 2 moments.
No, we didn't. We're only on number 3.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, you gotta hang on.
Hurry up. We got to get out of here.
You just said sorry, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Good thing.
It's funny.
Or do we make him stay tuned for number 2?
Well, PZ gets it together. That's why I wrote on a piece of paper. I was like, top 2, number 1, and then we'll do me after the blunt.
After the blunt. I need a shot, goddammit. Yeah, shot.
We just had one, but we'll pour another one.
Well, yeah.
What's our top 2, though? You got it queued?
I don't even know what.
Our top 2 moments in the history.
Let's at least close RTF with.
Let's close out the show. And
the number 2.
That's right.
All right.
Stick around.
Stick around on the live feed.
We're going to talk the last, and then more importantly, the top 2 moments of Undertaker's career. We're going to talk, which I was trying to ask you before we got called.
Top 2 moments of the podcast.
We didn't do that either, but we're also going to talk our favorite Undertaker version of his themes.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that. And we're going to
Hamilton,
settle with the Scott.
Call back in. I got to talk about the dumpster fire that is pro wrestling right now.
That's right. We're going to take shots. We're going to smoke more weed. And, of course, we're going to put the StreamYard link up. If you guys want to come on the show and smoke with us in the after party,
drink, whatever,
I will put the info in the comments.
What's going on, everybody? Whether you're practicing social distancing of 6 feet up to 6 miles, you can still party with On and Off the Field, where you can listen to the best NFL and charity-based podcasts out there on the RTF Sports Network. You can follow them on Facebook or go to rtfsportsnetwork.com and check out the show Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
For the latest information, news, and analysis of the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA, check out the Lakers Fast Break podcast every Tuesday night at 9, right here at rtfsportsnetwork.com.
En JCPenney sabemos que nos extrañas y nosotros te extrañamos aún más. Pero ¿qué pasa si te decimos que tenemos una tienda abierta todo el día, todos los días? ¡La tenemos! En jcp.com o en el app de JCPenney. ¿Quieres un traje de baño? ¡Lo tenemos! ¿Algo para estrenar este verano? También. ¿Marcas exclusivas y tus marcas nacionales favoritas? También. Visita nuestra página para los más recientes cupones y aprovecha envío estándar gratis en compras de $49 o más. JCPenney. Aplican exclusiones. Detalles en la tienda o jcp.com.
Hey, Tex, want you out your seat? What up, Floyd Central? Shout out to the Highlanders. You know what's up? See it? It's all about that green and that gold. That culture that's not gonna fold.
Part of that lights, the green and the gold. Culture of greatness, young and the old. Either you fight or either you fold. We started to be great to win is the goal. Our heart on the field, you know that they hate it. This from my brothers like we was related. The fan behind us, you know we go crazy. The fans behind us, we make them go crazy. Part of that lights, the green and the gold. Culture of greatness, young and the old. Either you fight or either you fold. We started to be great to win is the goal. Our heart on the field, you know that they hate it. This from my brothers like we was related. The fan behind us, you know we go crazy. The fans behind us, we make them go crazy. On the field, it be cracking, you know that we with it. Look at our squad, I bet you start quitting. We do the scoring and we do the hitting. Floyd Central the name and don't you forget it. I landed the team, the green and the gold. My brothers all in. We do not fold, we take over fields when we on the road. We got the best crowd from young to the old. Cut off the leash and my dogs go crazy. Put in the work cause we are not lazy. Bro, make a play, you know that we praise it. We make a play, you know it's amazing.
Throwing that ball cause we in them trenches. So we going cause it's 4th and inches. Can't take the east. Stay out the kitchen, I landed the team at the top of your bench.
Part of that lights, the green and the gold. Culture of greatness, young and the old. Either you fight or either you fold. We started to be great to win is the goal. Our heart on the field, you know that they hate it. This from my brothers like we was related. The fan behind us, you know we go crazy. The fans behind us, we make them go crazy. Part of that lights, the green and the gold. Culture of greatness, young and the old. Either you fight or either you fold. We started to be great to win is the goal. Our heart on the field, you know that they hate it. This from my brothers like we was related. The fan behind us, you know we go crazy. The fans behind us, we make them go crazy. Shout out to that green and that gold. Floyd Central Highlanders. I see y'all. Keep making those moves. Oh yeah. Shout out to the head coach, Coach Brad, the whole coaching staff, Paul, Buck, Smith, Had, McKay, Hodge. We see y'all doing y'all thing out there on the field. Oh, I can't forget about the seniors in the starting lineup. Number 2, Trace. Number 10, Calvin. Number 31, Cole. Number 4, Dan. Number 18, Seth. Number 32, JD. Number 50, Michael. Number 52, Adam. Number 73, Brett. Number 78, Gary. Number 53, Matt. Oh yeah, shout out to the rest of the squad. Best believe it's gonna be trouble if y'all cross those lines with us. We can't forget about the best fans in the stands, the best fans in the world. Keep putting y'all hands up. Rock out with y'all, Floyd Central Highlanders. We gonna make this season a good one. It's all about that green and that gold. Culture that young and the old. Great don't fold.
It's time to go back to work. There's a lot to do. We have things to make, stuff to build, cargo to ship, customers to serve. So grab a 5-hour energy and get ready. For 16 years, through good times and bad, 5-hour energy has been there helping hard-working people get stuff done. It's time to go back to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get going. For more information and to order online, visit 5hourenergy.com.
En JCPenney sabemos que nos extrañas y nosotros te extrañamos aún más. Pero ¿qué pasa si te decimos que tenemos una tienda abierta todo el día, todos los días? ¡La tenemos! En jcp.com o en el app de JCPenney. ¿Quieres un traje de baño? ¡Lo tenemos! ¿Algo para estrenar este verano? También. ¿Marcas exclusivas y tus marcas nacionales favoritas? También. Visita nuestra página para los más recientes cupones y aproveche envío estándar gratis en compras de $49 o más. JCPenney. Aplican exclusiones. Detalles en la tienda o jcp.com.
In times of need, this is what most insurance sounds like.
What's your policy number?
But insurance with AAA sounds like this.
Is everyone okay?
See the difference at AAA.com/insurance.
Do you want to get inside the mind of one of the hosts from Twist, the Weekend Sports Talk? Well, here's your chance with another episode of Mike on the Mic. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Mike Reeves of Mike on the Mic. This is a spin-off show from our showcase show, Twist, the Week in Sports Talk. A little call to action. You can find me on Twitter at RTF Mike on the Mic. You can find this show at RTF Sports Network.com. And like I said, our flagship show is Twist, the Week in Sports Talk. So we're going to kick it off with some sports stories showcase. Newest one in the news right now, Bubba Wallace's garage at Talladega had a noose in it. Things are starting to get ridiculous, man. NASCAR came out last week and said that they were going to get rid of the Confederate flag, and with a sport with a bunch of hillbillies in it, of course, they snuck in all of their Confederate flags. There was a plane that flew by that had a Confederate flag attached to the banner. I didn't know drunken hillbillies could fly planes, let alone pay for a banner to fly by a national sporting event. But things are getting ridiculous in NASCAR. They're getting ridiculous in America. You know, we go from this COVID to the death of George Floyd, which God rest his soul. At least he didn't die in vain. America's starting to hashtag stay woke about what's really going on. And whether it's taking down statues or flags or whatever the case is, people aren't standing for the ways that things, used to be. But then we have NASCAR, who's putting nooses in the garage of an African-American driver who it's a damn shame. So I hope things can get better on that front and just in general in America. Speaking of idiots, Brett Favre, this is Green Bay Packer Brett Favre, not Minnesota Viking Brett Favre, thinks Colin Kaepernick will be lauded as a hero like Pat Tillman. His quotes, I can only think of right off the top of my head, Pat Tillman's another guy who did something similar, and we regard him as a hero. Pat Tillman died for his country. He went, I don't know if it was the Army or the Marines, I don't want to botch it, but he went and served the country. Colin Kaepernick is not Pat Tillman. He's not a hero. Does he stand up for what he believes in? Absolutely. But to put them in the same sentence is just stick to Wranglers, Brett. Good God. The MLB Players Association wants more than 60 games at full prorated pay from MLB owners. I don't know what's worse, not having sports or hanging it in the balance. Oh, we're trying to get this by. We're trying to do that. I would just rather him tell me there's not going to be a season than continue to go down the path of this and that and the other, and basically the owners and the players going back and forth. And, we have a new CBA lined up, so I really think that the owners are trying to, strong hand them and make them kind of go to their will for next season when they actually have to do something and come to terms. If they were smart, they would just get into an agreements now, get some baseball going. So next season, when the CBA does come into effect, the owners can be like, look, we got you guys playing. We got you out there. Let's negotiate fairly and try to get this done. We are a live interactive show, and Pat Tillman was an Army Ranger, a.k.a. Badass. So again, Green Bay Greg, you call your boy Brett Favre. You tell him to shut the hell up. The NBA Disney bubble rules. So the NBA came out with their safety protocols while playing at Walt Disney World. Now, this is another one. There's so much stuff surrounding the return of the NBA that we're not even sure it's coming back or not. So they came out, said they're coming, said they're playing, and yet we still have no idea. So some of the rules are obviously, clear and concise, while other ones are a little crazy. So we'll go. So spitting or clearing their nose on the court. That's a big no-no. You can't do that. No blowing your nose on the court, LeBron. Wiping the ball with their jersey. Okay. Licking hands and touching other items such as shoes or the basketball. So don't lick yourself and dribble the basketball. That's against the rules. Playing with or unnecessarily touching their mouth guard and other items. So Steph Curry, luckily he's hurt. They're not in the playoffs. I don't think we'll have to worry about that. Individuals must shower in their individual hotel rooms. Showers will not be available at the Wide World of Sports complex. Now, this one to me is the most disgusting. So you get done with a full game, you're nasty, you're sweaty, and you got to wait to get back to your hotel to shower? Okay, I don't know about all that. According to The Athletic, players will be allowed to attend other teams' games. Now, this I think will be interesting. There will be no fans in the stands, but then the Lakers can show up for a 76ers game and heckle Ben Simmons for the mere fact that he doesn't know how to shoot. So I do like that. I think that'll be kind of fun. Going over to the NFL, Dr. Fauci, which is basically he's the doctor that shut America down. So he's well loved. Football may not happen this year unless NFL athletes live in a bubble. So Fauci's the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. I'm really surprised he still has that. I wouldn't make him my director. Maybe like The Office, the assistant to the assistant of the director. So really there's no liability there. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, football teams likely would need to mirror the NBA and MLS for creating closed communities. Now, we did talk about this on our show, Twist, on Saturday. Honestly, we came to the conclusion that the NFL is going to take one main test at the beginning of the season, and then that will be it. There will be no testing in the NFL. The NFL is too big, and they don't really care. So, Dr. Fauci, we don't need to live in a bubble because we won't be testing our players. There will be a full season and no shenanigans. Staying in football, Josh Gordon relapsed after brother's death. He has applied for reinstatement. He's trying to play again. Gordon's attorney, he offered an explanation. Josh had a lapse because of his brother's death. But since that time, he has realized how important it is for him to take the right steps, do what's proper, and understand how to manage these issues. How many steps is he going to need to take? Here's a couple steps for you. They're called the 12 steps. You need to figure it out because I'm sick of hearing your name when it comes to this. You need to figure it out. Just ban him again. He's been a hell of a player, and I like him. I enjoy him. I love football, but, making excuses for him. Yeah, people die, and it sucks. But you have a job, and you've gotten in trouble, 4 or 5 times for not being able to, put down the pipe? Oh, God. Well, that is going to be it for our sports show showcase. Now we're going to keep it a little local. Mike on the Mic is located in Minnesota, the best state in the entire country, world. Best sports teams. It's phenomenal. So we're going to keep it local. Miguel Sano. This dude can't keep out of trouble. He reportedly accused of assault and kidnapping. Oh, man. I think it was rape or something a couple of years ago. MLB player stated he has nothing to do with the allegation of asking for $175,000 U.S. He claimed blackmail because his brother was sexually assaulted. Man, Miguel, you're a hell of a player. Why don't you just stay out of the Dominican Republic? Come back home. Come to Minnesota. We'll take care of you here, man. Because every time you leave the country, you seem to get in trouble. So we'd like you home. That is that. Now, this is great. Inside WNBA legend Maya Moore's extraordinary quest for justice. This is a PSA to Kyrie Irving. Okay? I need you to listen. Dwight Howard, listen. On February 5th, 2019, Maya Moore said she'd be sitting out the season. She was in her prime. Now, you got to hear this. At 29, she'd already won 4 WNBA championships, a league MVP award. 2011, WNBA Rookie of the Year. She was a 6-time WNBA All-Star and a 5-time All-WNBA first-team honoree. 3 consecutive championships with her clubs in China. I'm going to botch this. Shangji Flame, as well as a EuroLeague championship with Russian powerhouse Yekaterinburg. She'd won 2 gold medals for Team USA, and in college at Connecticut, she'd won 2 national championships and was a 4-time consensus All-American and the only woman in college history to win the Wade Trophy 3 times. So basically, she's sitting out, yes, I'm saying it, is equivalent to Jordan retiring in 93. So she saw a case of a man that she thought was innocent. And she said, look, basketball is my love, but this isn't right, and I'm going to go fight for it. So Kyrie and all those people who don't think that you should go play basketball right now, then don't. Just don't. You want to go fight for something? Go fight for it. But everybody else is going to go play basketball. You know, players like LeBron James who actually do something for their inner cities and for the kids and the African-American community outside of basketball have rose up and said, look, we're playing, I'm playing, and people stand behind him. You know, I get that there's a time that we need to go out and we need to do stuff and we need to protest and we need to defend what we believe in. And that's 100% okay. Because I do that. I'm critical of a lot of things in this world. But you know what? I have to show up to work and I have to do my job. And outside of that, I can do whatever the hell I want, which is why I have my own show. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. I don't need Greg in my ear talking about Green Bay shit and snooze. So take a page out of Maya Moore. It's commendable. You know, she's fighting for this guy's justice, for his freedom, because she believes he's innocent. So she dropped the game that she's, you know, easily one of the best ever at in her sport to fight for something that she actually believes in. So let's stick with basketball, even the Target Center, who share with the links. I want to do a deep dive on the Minnesota Timberwolves and why we should root for the Nets if we actually get some playing here. So Minnesota, we hold the right to Brooklyn's first-round pick. So we need them to make the playoffs. Make the playoffs, because if you do, we're going to get the 15th or 16th pick. So I have 3 players that I broke down that I think would be a great fit for the Minnesota Timberwolves right around 15 or 16. I don't have 3. I lied. I have 1. One main one. Okay, that's all that matters. Patrick Williams, Florida State. He's 18. He's 6'8". NBA comparison, the Claw. Kawhi Leonard, for you non-basketball fans. He's a champ. So a little breakdown of Patty Williams, ACC Sixth Man of the Year. He's one of the youngest prospects in the draft, and he could end up being the best overall player. 6'8", big dude. Anytime he's referred to as Kawhi Leonard, you know, you got to swing big if you're the Wolves. We got to take a big chance. We need somebody at 15 or 16 who could end up being 3 years down the road. Patrick Williams, best guy in the whole draft. Because we don't have any money. We don't have shit to do. So we need to hit on these 2 picks. We also own the 33rd pick in the second round. So we're going to see what Gerson Rosas has to do. You got to respect the fact that he came in from the Houston Rockets, said he's going to take a look around. I'm going to open the cupboards. I'm going to see what you got. And you know what he found? He found a bunch of beans and corn and a bunch of shit that was expired. Time to go. Got to throw it out. Out of the 15 players on the Timberwolves, he got rid of 13 of them. He kept Josh Okogie and Karl Anthony Towns. 13 of the 15. Hasta luego! You're out of here. You know, we finally got D'Angelo Russell. We're making moves here in Minnesota. You know, you got Karl Anthony Towns' best friend and you brought him on. So Gerson, whether these moves work out or not, he's actually making them, and he's trying to mold his Wolves into his things. You know, Thibodeau wanted Butler, Thibodeau's guy. We got to have him, but he was toxic. You know, Jimmy Butler's proven. He went to the 76ers, who have Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris. I mean, you put those 4 dudes together, and you can't win. And then he left. So at least Gerson Rosas has a plan. He's following it. And we're going with it. You know, I'm all about it. Trust the Rosas. So what should we do in the lottery? We're one of 3 teams that have a 14% chance at number 1. We're in win now mode with the big cat. Meow. And D'Angelo Russell. So my pick, the boys know it from Twist, is LaMelo Ball. 6'8" point guard. This dude's going to be in the league for a long time. regardless of his shot. He's one of the crispiest passers to come out of the draft in a very, very long time. So the Timberwolves had an offensive rating of 114.9 that ranked them in the 88th percentile last year. Obviously, we know Carl and D'Angelo, they can ball, but they can't play a lick of defense. Nothing. So let's just bring in a guy who can play some more. I don't care. Let's score, outscore. We're not playing defense. Our key players can't play it. Let's keep keeping it local. Utah's Both Gok transfers home to Minnesota. Yeah, buddy. Gok announced his move on Twitter a week ago. The Gophers confirmed the addition. Well, thank God they confirmed it. He's out there tweeting it. So he's a Minnesota native, helped lead his high school to the Class 3A state championship back in 2017. Booth Gotch is how it's pronounced. Booth. Like father, like son. Corbin Lacina, old Vike. His son, Jake Lacina, undrafted free agent, going to come join the squad. I remember Corbin, barely. I think I was dranking pretty heavy back then, but I remember him, So keeping it local, little national, little local. We're a sports-heavy show here at Mike on the Mic, but I do always got to give you a little TV show breakdown. During the pandemic, I had a lot of time to Netflix and chill. Little Hulu, little Netflix. So this one premiered in its third season last night. Kind of pisses me off I don't have this channel. I'm going to have to go to my parents' house and binge it, but it's Yellowstone. Oscar and Emmy winner Kevin Costner is the marquee attraction of this ensemble cast in this drama series. John Sutton, he operates in a corrupt world where politicians are compromised by influential oil and lumber corporations. Dutton's property is a constant conflict with those it borders. So basically, this is just a cowboys and Native Americans, to be politically correct. So this aired a couple years ago. Like I said, season 3 premiere was yesterday. Some scores for you before I give you mine. IMDb 8.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, bullshit, 69%. TV.com, 9.1 out of 10. On Google, 94% liked this TV show. My score is going to be a 9.2. This is on the Paramount Network, so not everybody has it, which is kind of bullshit. But it airs at like 9 o'clock, and once in a while you're going to see some tits and ass, which is nice for cable, if you ask me. So I'm cool with that. Like I said, it's not just sports at the end of the show. We like to end light. So we're going to do a little spotlight. This week, it's going to be the Twix Cookies and Cream. Now, if you're listening on the podcast platforms across the country or on RTFSportsNetwork.com, you can't see it. It's a Twix, but it's cookies and cream on the inside. So we're just going to take a little bite. I'm going to tell you how it is. Probably phenomenal. Oh, my God. Yep. Go get it. Wash that down with a little coffee. I'm going to throw the rest away. Maybe give it to my old man. That's good. Twist. Cookies and cream. All right, let's end the show with a random fact. Just like each and every week, we want to have you walk away with a little knowledge. The tallest man ever recorded was American giant Robert Wadlow. Born in 1918, died in 1940. Gee, he didn't live long. He stood 8 feet, 11 inches tall. That's a tall man. Well, thank you again for tuning in, RTF Sports Network, Twist Nation, everybody listening and viewing. And we will catch you next week for an all-new episode of Mike on the Mic.
In times of need, this is what most insurance sounds like.
Thank you for holding. What's your policy number?
But when you have coverage from AAA, you've got insurance with 3 A's. And that sounds like this.
Thank you for calling AAA. Is everyone okay?
So does your insurance sound like insurance? Or does it sound like insurance with AAA, a brand that's been helping members for over 100 years? Visit AAA.com/insurance for a free quote on auto and home coverage.
What's up, y'all? You know who it is. It's your boy Dylan from On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan. So I'm just coming to let you know, on the RTF Sports Network, this show will now be live from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. If you go to rtfsportsnetwork.com, you can listen to the show live from there and on our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram. It's going to be an amazing show that is all about the fans. Also, when you go to rtfsportsnetwork.com, make sure to vote for On and Off the Field as the show of the month for April. If we win that, money is going to charity. You can count on that. What's up, y'all? You know who it is. It's your boy Dylan from On and Off the Field with Durf and Dylan. So I'm just coming to let you know, on the RTF Sports Network, this show will now be live from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. If you go to rtfsportsnetwork.com, you can listen to the show live from there and on our social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram. It's going to be an amazing show that is all about the fans. Also, when you go to rtfsportsnetwork.com, make sure to vote for On and Off the Field as the show of the month for April. If we win that, money is going to charity. You can count on that.
Are you looking for a veteran-based sports podcast? Tune in right now at the top of the hour, 8 p.m., to Hares and the Doggy Show. Join us. It's going to be great, guys.
It's time to go back to work. There's a lot to do. We have things to make, stuff to build, cargo to ship, customers to serve. So grab a 5-hour energy and get ready. For 16 years, through good times and bad, 5-hour energy has been there helping hard-working people get stuff done. It's time to go back to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get going. For more information and to order online, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Head movement, head movement, head movement, head movement, head movement. My aunt had to say I had a long road back with you, fear me. This is number one bullshit. Absolutely, man. I'm about to give him coast-to-coast ass whooping. I'm gonna make him go face down, ass up once again. It's the Heirs of the Dog, baby.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Heirs of the Dog Show. I am your host, as always, and forever, Johnny O'Neill, and I'm here with my battle buddy and co-host, Dylan Newbro. What is up, bro? Fucking episode
How
20?
you doing? 20?
Fantastic.
This is episode 20?
20, man. We're here. I'm excited because we finally figured out how to fucking record, and it's been a long road, a long fucking process, but we're here, and we
figured
fucking
it
made
out.
it. Dude, I feel like Bob the Builder and Dora the Explorer and Blue's Clues fucking all put together.
Wow.
I'm a problem solver. What can I say?
You sound super motivated, to be honest.
Dude, I'm giddy with excitement.
Giddy.
Giddy.
Sounds
Like that.
weird.
I got that like fucking tennis ball feeling in my throat. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, I got you. Mine's more of a golf ball than a tennis ball. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they bounce just as high, though.
You're not as excited as I am.
I feel like as far as, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Productivity.
Sure.
Or bounceability. Just ability in general.
Balanceability.
They're the same. They're
Sure.
the same.
Those
They're
are
the
those are
same.
words. Just a quick little spiel here. You can find our podcast, The Heirs of the Dog, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on Twitter, believe it or not. We don't tweet that much, but we do share our memes that we frequently upload on Instagram if you like that kind of stuff. They are all homemade by yours truly. I sit in front of my phone stoned off of our awesome sponsor, Newview Pharma, and make some pretty intricate memes. Not only movie posters, but some MMA comedy esque meme culture as well.
Some pretty obscure movie posters too.
Oh, dude, you definitely got to be a movie buff to understand what the fuck we're talking about in most of our thumbnails.
That's how we weed them out.
Oh yeah, it's like if you don't know what the fuck our Cowboy Way movie poster is with 2 Donald Cerrones, then get the fuck out of here.
GTFO.
Yeah. Where can you listen to the Heirs of the Dog podcast? RTF Sports Network, baby. RTFsports.com. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and Thursdays at 8 p.m. The Heirs of the Dog will be live on RTFsports.com. Also, if you do not have access to the internet and you'd like to download your podcasts ahead of time, or if you simply just listen to your podcast on another platform, we are on Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple. I'm sorry, I said that already. Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public.
You name it.
Yeah, man. You name it. Oh man, great. But moving on, man. RTF Sports Network, we want to give them a special thank you. We're moving on up in the world thanks to them. Not only taking our audio production and audio engineering and just overall production of our podcast a hell of a lot more serious, but we're about to be on Roku TV, baby, and that's
big
pretty
time.
fucking awesome, man. Tell the people what that includes, man.
What Roku TV includes?
Yeah, I mean you use it all the time.
I do use it, but it's just like anything, I mean, it's just like my PlayStation when I'm not playing video games. Basically, you can download whatever you want on it, but it's just a little box that sits on your wherever you want it to
like
sit.
Similar to like a Fire Stick or like any other like Apple TV or they have their own channels and developers and it's a whole conglomerate of various content, and RTF Sports is recently in the works of a dealings with Roku TV to stream all of our podcast and blog network to their devices. So from football to baseball and bare knuckle to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, RTF Sports is going to be the new go-to in sports news and entertainment. So
what else more do you need?
Man, I am beyond excited for that. So once again, thank you to RTF Sports. And last but not least, NewView Pharma. NewView Pharma aims to be more than just a premier medical and recreational cannabis dispensary chain. NewView is committed to unlocking the scientific and medical potential of cannabis. Our team is dedicated to maintaining absolute quality control over their products from seed to sale. Unlike other many cannabis dispensaries, NewView Pharma has its own state-of-the-art hydroponic indoor and cannabis extraction lab, enabling the company complete mastery and oversight for product quality and its development. So NewView Pharma develops its own proprietary medical and recreational cannabis seed genetics, so you won't find any of our strains anywhere else in the world, let alone Colorado. So NewView Pharma is super fucking special. We came up with that little spiel to make a little bit more sense of how, intricate and scientific they are behind developing, our awesome fucking medicine that we smoke every day,
From seed to table. No, seed to sell.
It's all right, man.
I was thinking it sounded like farm to table.
Yeah, from seed to what is it?
Consumption. Seed to burning? I don't know. Man.
From cow to plate. From moo to yum.
Moo. Damn.
Oh, man. Hey, man. Speaking of NewView, I
did just get a little high. Go ahead.
Recently got my medical card. Spoiler alert.
I'm excited for your medical card.
Yes.
Is that wrong to say?
I'm going to gift you some marijuana.
Some medicine of yours.
Yeah, it's like giving you a Tylenol. It's like, hey man,
oh,
not buying this from me. I'm just gonna give you some of my medicine so you can try it.
Best Tylenol I ever had.
Yeah, best goddamn Tylenol I ever.
Wow.
But yeah, so we get to. I mean, I don't have any real extensive knowledge of what medical marijuana has to offer. I've really only been spoiled with the fantastic recreational side of what NuView and RM Extracts has to offer.
And they do a hell of a job.
Oh, dude, why go anywhere else? I mean,
I don't know why you would.
We're winning belts here in Colorado for the grow-offs, thanks to fucking BK, Brandon Kelly, head cultivation. I don't know what his full title is.
I love his Instagram,
bro.
It's so wonderful, like how insane these plants come out. Yeah, he is like the Willy Wonka of weed.
He's the Willy Wonka of weed, or the John Wick.
Wow. John Wick. You know what movie I watched last night? Well, we can get into that. We'll get into that. Go ahead. Finish your advert there.
Hey man, it's not really an ad. I'm just talking, talking facts here, spitting the fucking trueness of what's going on in the world. So the new at NuView, of course, it's something that we cover weekly, but sadly haven't been to the medical dispensary for NuView yet. A couple of strains that I really want to try. Fainting Goat.
Oh.
Yes.
I think Fainting Goats are great.
I know it's a classic strain, but I want to see how Brandon does with that. And I saw it. I mean, I had a brief stint as a, bud tender.
Yeah, you tried your hand.
Either way, I got to see them. I never got to smoke them because I didn't have my medical card at the time. But
now you're legit.
Yeah, I got to view them. So I definitely want to try Scroopy Noopers. Scroopy Noopers is supposed to be fantastic. So those are kind of the main two that that caught my eye, and that other people I noticed were coming in and grabbing frequently. So yeah, definitely they're not new by any means. I guess if you're going to say new strains at NuView right now, just off the top of my head, there are one I believe is Sunset Mac. But I don't believe that is really a new cultivation, but they have a bunch of new flowers coming out, in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, I want to say they might need help naming them.
Yeah, one of them. I think to this day, there's the dog. Needs a morning sativa strain.
You kidding me? Would that be our strain? Morning sativa?
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
You get the hair of the dog,
Yeah. Oh,
wake up.
Yes, bro.
You need a fucking heavy sativa.
Yeah, and everyone knows. Everyone knows who smokes. That's the best high of your day is the morning high.
The first one
Gets you
fucking ready for whatever the fuck is about to happen, whether it's good or bad. At least you're in a good mood.
You're in a good mood regardless.
Yep. Fuck yeah, man. So I think we need to try to get on BK's radar with that a little bit more. I've been hitting him up every time I see him going to the Pueblo store. I see him walking around in his freaking hazmat suit.
Oh, yeah.
He's walking outside. I'm like, what up, BK? Everybody that's standing in line outside because of the coronavirus is like, how does he know that guy in the hazmat suit?
Is it still only 5N and all that jazz?
No, they're kind of a little bit more lax on it. I feel like it's like weekly. They'll go like, okay, we're gonna do like super strict shit now because the news is saying something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean the news is almost like that.
The news is like always right.
It's like weekly. Yeah, usually they all say the same thing, so it doesn't matter who you listen to. You're getting the same information. That's for sure.
And it's all factual.
CNN, Fox, doesn't matter. They all say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope it sounds like I'm being sarcastic.
It doesn't.
Oh, damn it.
No, that was sarcasm too.
Oh. I can't.
Jeez, that was deep.
Apparently I'm dude, that did go deep. That went a few layers.
Yeah, a few layers.
Damn it.
Everybody likes cake.
Everybody likes
cake. Like parfait. Everybody likes parfait.
Anyway,
What about what our fucking podcast is about? UFC and mixed martial arts and
It's about
combat
hand-to-hand
sports.
combat.
How about punching people in the
Fisticuffs.
fucking face, baby?
That's
we watched me and Nicholas, old Nid Tina.
What does he play as on Call of Duty? What's his name?
Thoughts.
Say that again? Poetic Thoughts. Yeah,
Poetic
you're right.
Thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I think
I always thought it was a great name.
It is. It is a really good name. He changed his Activision name to Daddy Dank Dick or some shit like that. So it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, that's pretty great.
You need to change your Activision to just Doug Lee.
Doug Lee.
Yeah, and I'll be Buffer Dan. You need to bring those characters back, bro. I don't think you've ever told that story.
Well, I don't even think I have. I got no idea what that mustache is for sure.
Oh, dude, those are easy finds.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah. That was the first Halloween that you guys were here in Colorado.
Definitely. Well, were we here or did we drive?
No,
we
drove up. Were just visiting. Like
Eddie and I drove up.
Yeah, you were staying at the hotel.
Cruised it up.
Yeah, when you packed for Colorado and you just poured all the Miller Lights in your suitcase. That shit was so funny, bro. Oh man.
That fucking what's that song? Shipping off to Boston.
No,
it was
back. The boys are back.
Still Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, dude.
That's a concert I want to go to, dude. Is whenever that shit gets kicked off.
I saw a guy wearing a concert T-shirt at the gym today of Dropkick Murphys, and guess what he had, bro? Guess what he had on his fucking calf? He was like, he had a chaos symbol on his calf.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Bro, do you happen to watch MMA? I was like, bro, I'll give you a sticker next time I see you at the gym. He was like, dude, seriously, give one to me. I'll talk about your podcast all the time. I was like, fuck yeah, bro. So he got another, and he was wearing a fucking lime, fucking Irish green, shamrock green fucking Dropkick Murphys T-shirt, and it had all the tour dates on the back of it. It said Red Rocks. I was like, dude, how was that concert?
Yeah, that's the move.
Unbelievable.
Red Rocks.
But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Me and Nid Tina, old Poetic Thoughts. We watched the return of Amanda the Lioness Nunez.
The return and possible last.
You think she'll retire?
She's talking about it.
I know. I think that the whole fucking talk of retiring amongst all of these fighters is a pretty hot commodity nowadays.
Yeah, right. It is kind of the cool thing to do.
Retiring and coming out of retirement and then retiring again. Conor McGregor.
Are they finding out that there could possibly be more money for them on the other side and they're not getting punched in the face?
Yeah, I mean, I think Conor's kind of proving that, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole issue with them getting paid, like, apparently they're not getting paid dick.
Yeah, and I mean, you could tell, and not to get in the weeds right now, but I mean, during that card, that entire card of 250, not that there's going to be, an existential amount of, excitement because there's no fans there, but shit, man, people just seem pissed off to be there. They're like, I'm just here to get my check and I'm fucking out, Especially O'Malley.
The ratings are definitely down.
Yeah, I mean, did you see how my wife even pointed out, Emily? She was like, "Look how pissed off O'Malley looks."
Oh yeah.
He's like, I definitely think that's worth 100 G's, not just 50. Like,
yeah, it did look like someone pissed him off in the back, and he's like, "Fuck it, I don't even want to be here. Whatever, let's fight."
But he looked super fucking stoked to be on Theo Von.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I haven't watched that episode yet, but I
just saw his hair. I was like,
yeah,
that's fucking sweet.
He looks like he's gonna play the Joker next.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did a little Photoshop. I'll send it to you. Here, I'll actually just fucking throw it to you right now. Yeah, I did a little Joaquin.
You get a live comment auction on me? Oh, yeah. Joaquin.
I did a little Joaquin Joker paint on. Oh,
that's fucking
Sugar Sean
sick
O'Malley.
As shit, dude.
Isn't that dope, bro? I'm gonna throw this. I'll throw this on the Instagram, and if you guys think it's cool, fucking comment and like it. I think he definitely has some Joker vibes, especially with his new hair.
What would you say? What is his tattoo on his chest?
I think it's an owl.
Chloe, I thought that too, but I zoomed in and okay, owls get me, but definitely looks like a fucking moth.
No, it's an owl for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can see the beak, and if you,
I mean, moths look like that. The fuzzy ass head.
sure, but I think you're thinking too much of the moth meme.
Mothra. What moth meme? Moth meme.
Isn't there a moth meme?
They're definitely with the bug zapper.
Something like that. It's
Something
fucking
like
weird.
that. Did you ever have a bug zapper anywhere in your life?
We had one of those tennis rackets that fucking zapped.
Oh,
and
you manually had to zap them?
Yeah, you had to fucking swing a fucking electrified tennis racket at the fly, and then it would make like this terrible like Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes in like in like a fly voice. Yeah, it was like voice like motion activated, and when you hit like you know what I'm saying, like jerk the thing.
Yeah.
Like when it, you know what I mean? Gyrosphere, the gyrosphere.
Yeah. Eurosphere, the Eurosphere.
Yeah, it's Greek.
Yeah.
But it would do like
Hasta la vista, baby.
In a fly voice.
Yeah, and then we had.
Have we called Arnold at all?
I don't know, but I'm definitely not stoned enough for that.
No, I'm not saying we do. I just wondered if we had. I'd like to get his opinion on maybe sometime.
Yeah. Dude, I want to start doing. I want to start doing like prank phone calls. Like you and I just come up with some crazy funny ass scenario, and then we call like a Chinese restaurant ordering food, like you know Rick and Morty. Like, you know, and it's just like, come on, Morty, you want some fucking Szechuan chicken, Morty? It's just stupid shit like that.
I'm down. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's
back
funny
back
though.
to,
You had that. Well, you had that. I had a giant bug zapper in my yard, like on a pole.
Oh, like
it
the
was
one,
like
the one in A Bug's Life where he's like, don't go into the light. I
Yeah.
can't help it.
Exactly. Oh, dude, as a kid, I just hang out and listen to those bugs die all night.
Oh, remember?
Or you catch like moths and toss them in there. Yeah.
Just like, getting the fuck
Those
out
bug
of
zappers
bro.
are gnarly. I mean, we definitely thought about
Hey.
touching it, but never did.
Emily said, "Hey."
Howdy, hello. Did she
She's
say hey to
yelling
me?
at the-
I was like,
Hey.
She sounded angry. I was like, I don't think she's talking to me.
No, she definitely is.
Sugar Sean though, dude, looked fucking hella good.
Dude, who won that bonus for the night?
I think Cody G did.
Cody G, dude, that
Yeah.
was
I could be completely wrong though.
the
honestly.
walk off,
Bro, from the hip.
bro.
Like, are you kidding me?
Both him
That was
and
insane.
O'Malley deserved a
O'Malley had
fucking
a
bonus.
damn good knockout too, though. That was
I think
fucking badass.
O'Malley's face afterwards was way better than
Yeah.
Garbrandt was like fucking Chris Farley and Adam Sandler when they're at the fucking, you know, at the pool looking at the guys like, holy shit, I just did that. Lifting his glasses up like,
Yeah. That's a classic.
oh dude. And then Sean O'Malley's just like, oh, you're done? This is perfect, man.
That was fun.
And I just really like him as a person too. Like I think he's top 5 people to be on the podcast.
I hope they're grooming him for his stardom. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he doesn't need any grooming, man. He's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But I'm saying
he
that
doesn't
maybe he'll
need to
come up on.
change. Don't
No, not at all.
keep feeding this motherfucker fights is what we need to do.
Yeah, you just
Keep-
groom.
Yeah.
You just maybe wherever
Feed
you
him,
need it,
feed him, give him CM Punk.
bro. I doubt that dude's even still on the roster. I guarantee he's not. There's no fucking
Throw him
way.
James Vick.
James Vick.
Yeah,
Might as well.
dude. That's a.
I don't
that's
know.
that. I'm thinking of that dude that freaking I can't remember his goddamn name, but I don't like him at all. He's fucking
fighter?
pretty. Yeah, he's fucking pretty boy. I think he fought
An older fighter or fights now?
no, he fights now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
GTS?
There's so many fights now.
Google
Bro.
that shit.
I know, but I don't even know what to fucking start.
What to Google?
Oh, he was like complaining about he didn't tap and he was getting choked out, but he did tap.
What weight class?
I think it was same weight class as fucking Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy. Oh, Wonder Boy.
Welterweight?
Yeah. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah, but he's a darker haired guy, kind of fucking pretty boy looking, you know?
Is he a top 10? Because I got no fucking clue. Oh, not anymore?
Yeah, no, he's like coming off a couple of losses. Anyway, doesn't fucking matter. Just making ourselves look fucking even stupider as fucking UFC commentators for a goddamn fucking podcast. Sorry.
Sorry, man.
If you could see how red my face just got.
Oh, you be careful on that. I know a kid who broke all the blood vessels in his face doing that. Like, literally. Fucker had dots for a week. No, he had dots on his face, dude. Like, the wrong move was him showing up the next day in makeup. That was the wrong. We were in middle school, dude. We lit this dude up. Like, my second period, he was watching that shit off going, yeah, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, I was stupid. I should have never listened to my 15-year-old sister.
Yeah, exactly. Bro,
I never should have listened to my junior sister, who's laughing at me with all of her friends now.
It's like, you wear makeup, man?
Yeah, it's like, hey, man, why is your neck different color than the rest of your face?
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, man, when's the next fight? Before you come back?
I think this weekend.
Yeah, it is.
I'm coming back July 1, my guy. I don't know if I know I told you that.
Canada Day. Yeah, Dustin Poirier. My birthday weekend.
Who's DP fight?
Fucking Dan Hooker, bro.
That's right. That's a hell of a fucking fight.
That's who it is. Fucking Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall fights
Mike Perry.
Yeah, Mike Perry.
That's so
Ooh,
weird.
yeah, Platinum Mike.
So
I'm fucking stoked for that. I love
That's
a Mike
so
Perry
weird.
fight.
That's exactly who I was thinking about.
Was Mickey Gall?
Mickey Gall.
He fought. You were thinking because the only fight I've ever seen him. Well, he's fought a few times after that, but he fought CM Punk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But dude, he's such a chump. I fucking don't like that dude at all. I hope Perry fucking flattens his nose.
I'm stoked about. I love Perry fights because like that
Perry
whole
makes
week
his nose look like his nose.
His Instagram is fucking great during that whole week. Like, I love his Instagram. He's in. Yeah, you see, he's in beef with Darren Till.
Yeah.
I love Darren Till.
Dude, I love that whole freaking group of guys like Darren Till.
Exactly, dude. I'm excited for all of this. These are fun fights.
And I can't wait for the Colorado boys. Like,
yeah. You see,
like,
Gaethje
I love watching
his chin.
Dude, Gaethje. Yeah, he got a freaking headbutt to the chin during wrestling practice. Fuck, bro. Could you imagine fucking sweating and then, you know what I'm saying? Like all that fucking beard sweat and face oil.
Dude, what I was thinking is that the doctor has to shave, or that nurse has to shave around that cut.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it.
That's all I could think about. And I hope, I guarantee they probably localize it first. You know what I'm saying? Some shots.
Oh, yeah. They got to. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure they shaved a little fucking extra skin on the edges of the cut because, you know, he's using a fucking razor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like round off the edges real quick.
Like the back of my elbows hurt right now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just like
you gotta
got by like cringe chills.
Eat a piece of toilet paper. That's what you're supposed to do. In your elbows hurt.
Is that an old wives' tale?
No, it's a husband tail.
That's a scientific fact then. If it's a husband tail.
If it's a husband tail, it's a fact.
That's scientific fact.
Oh, dude. Hey, fucking, what's it called? What's that? The feminists just joined the chat. Oh, dude.
What were we talking about? Mickey Gall, Mike Perry.
Yeah, Mickey
Platinum
Gall, Mike Perry.
Who else we got? What was that was Dan Hooker.
That's Return to
DP.
Vegas, by the way.
No, is it? Or is it Fight Island?
Vegas. No.
Because Fight Island weren't they on Fight Island this last week?
No.
I think this next one's Fight Island. You don't think?
No.
You didn't see it's in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, but this is Vegas.
I'm down with Vegas too, though.
UFC Vegas 4.
But did you see that Firefest documentary?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, well, anyway, it's those islands they created.
For the Firefest.
Yeah.
Fire Festival. Fake.
And so they just Fight Island in Abu Dhabi right there.
Fuck it, Fight Island.
There's like a octagon on the beach for like training purposes only apparently, and like probably like open workouts, I'm guessing.
Holy shit.
And then the arena's inside. You can't even tell where they are, but
yeah.
The idea is they can do whatever the fuck they want, like get fans in nut to butt.
Dude, can you imagine how much tickets are going to be for that?
Abu Dhabi can do whatever the fuck they want, yeah. And
no, but I'm saying being an American right now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I'm trying
just
to
getting to fly over there. See, when there was Fight Island, dude, I had envisions of like Enter the Dragon, right? Where like you can only get there by boat.
Yes.
Only get there by boat.
Yeah.
And
it has to be like a rowboat. Somebody heaving and hoeing all the way to your fucking island.
And it takes a day and a half.
Yeah. And you hit fucking stormy seas, and you gotta fucking ride it out, and then you get there, and it's like, all right, you almost died. Time to fucking risk your life again.
You get points for how many sharks you have to beat up.
Yeah, and then how many
octopi.
No, how many starfish you collect?
You collect?
Yeah, you collect starfish.
Starfish are cool. I like starfish, man. You can cut off that fucking leg and it'll grow right back.
Yep. I'm pretty sure sidetracked, but all the Colorado
this entire
guys,
conversation has been sidetracked.
Every single one of the Colorado guys won, I think.
Yes.
Oh no, Corey Sandhagen lost.
He did lose. You're right.
Yeah, but Aljamain Sterling fucking
looked
whooped
awesome.
some ass, bro.
He looked good. I'm excited for his career. Really,
he looks like another DJ.
Yeah, totally.
Very much a
kind of
Israel Adesanya,
Right. He's
but he's got a way cooler personality. He's way more down to earth. He's not like fucking Marty from Nebraska.
Right. Marty Newsman, Marty Fake Newsman.
Marty Fake Newsman, yeah.
He's got a fight coming up. I think that's this weekend.
Yeah, isn't Rosenstruck isn't his fight this weekend?
He's fighting Dos Santos Jr.
Yeah.
That's a fun fight.
Sweet.
That's kind of a
Curtis,
fun fight. JDS has been on the down. He's always getting up there.
Volkov.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, June 20th.
That's a fun one too, dude. Because Volkanov, the only loss he has is that Derek Lewis last 10 seconds of the fight, which he was winning.
Yeah. Clay Guida's back.
What?
Both Tisha and Raquel are fighting.
Are these prelims?
No, that's fucking fight night. That's
the main card.
Yeah, main card. I can't see.
I guess I did see that.
Main card. Raquel Pennington. Tisha's on the undercard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tisha's
that's a good night for that.
Brianna Van Buren. TJ better whoop some fucking ass. Clay Guida looks like somebody stole his Geico insurance. Jesus, he looks so angry, bro.
Someone stole my Geico insurance.
Yeah, so easy.
What does that
Hey,
mean?
man.
Like, they pay your bill for you? I don't know.
I don't know.
What else you got for me? That's a lot of. Hey, how do you feel about? We already talked really kind of a little bit about Cody Garbrandt, but I feel like he's probably on a tear.
I don't know, man. I think it very well could be,
Are you interested
one-hit
in
wonder.
another Dillashaw Garbrandt
Yes.
fight?
Very much.
Same. I really am.
I want to see TJ come back fucking mad as fuck. Like, bro, but because come on, be real. Before USADA, you know what I'm saying?
I was waiting for that. I was about to throw that in there. He's
Dude,
still on probation.
Come on.
Or not? Suspension. My bad.
But either way, like you got.
And it wasn't for steroids. It was EPOs. He was just wanted his cardio to be awesome.
Yeah, he
like
cheated.
superhuman level.
Like, yeah.
I
couldn't punch as hard. I
yeah,
could just punch 10 times longer.
yeah. It's like, well, it is. That's the big issue because your fifth round will feel like the first round, and that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, he's like, well, fuck, we just got here.
Yeah, I'm kind of warm, I guess.
Yeah,
we'll figure this out.
We're gonna get started soon.
That's a cool one, dude. If you haven't listened to it, is Rogan had Henry Cejudo on like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah,
Not about a week ago.
I've seen him on there once before.
This one was awesome. This one was way good.
Post-retirement.
Yeah, because he talks about how it was all an act. It was absolutely all an act to revive the 125 division.
I mean,
he's smart as shit.
We knew that. We
definitely knew that.
The king of cringe. Come on, bro. That's not.
Yeah.
You're not serious.
It surprised me how. I mean, I knew he was obviously a root fucking genius. To be world champion, like how many times he was. But just how he takes the sport. He was the youngest at 21. He's the youngest gold medal Olympic wrestler for the States, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes on and wins all these. And he'll he'll talk about how, he says he's the king of cringe will say he's the greatest combat sports guy of all time or something like that.
Best. He's the greatest combat sports athlete of all time.
No, dude. He's like I just say that, but of course he's like, I think DJ's a better fucking athlete than I am, a better fighter than I am. He's like, I beat him that night, sure, but he's probably that pound for pound, he's probably the best fighter ever. I'm like, fuck, that's cool, because you always see him as the king of cringe.
Yeah, but that's what's cool about him is he went out. And
I gain a lot of respect. I always had respect for that dude, but I gain a lot during that podcast. It's a good one. It's a real good one.
I mean, I definitely see where his was more of a publicity stunt rather than fucking
his personality.
Colby Covington is fucking.
You believe his too much. Yeah.
Well, he. But that's the thing is he is for real. Like he gets on like news channels, and
I don't know if that's him, because like you'll get guys like Cameron Haynes, who was like he's the nicest dude in the world. So he had an ultimatum with whoever makes the decisions at the UFC, where they were like, hey, we're cutting you and people don't like you. People don't watch your fights, shit like that. And then he comes up with this character. He's like, okay, well, my job is on the line. I got to do something if I want to eat and feed my family. Like, well, I don't know if he's married, whatever. Anyway, that's just what I hear. But like, yeah, the shit he likes to do is just strange to me.
Yeah,
I don't know why you take it that
to me,
direction.
it's not appealing. And
me either.
Maybe that's
not even as like a joke,
Yeah, and like we're both people that are like, wow, that's he's getting them. You know what I mean?
He's a damn good fighter, though. I like watching him fight.
I do. I think he needs to be better at talking shit. He's not very good at it.
It's cringy. It's very cringy. You get the
Yeah,
douche chills.
like you could do a whole lot better, bro. You know? I don't know.
I do know.
But
That's my
anyway,
entire life.
I think I'm more excited for the main event of Saturday than anything else. Curtis Blades to me is gonna be the next Rampage. Like he's gonna be legendary in the sport.
Yeah, I can get behind what you're saying for sure.
Like he's young as fuck too, bro. He
has a good why. He's got like a family. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's hungry.
And he's got an awesome team. Like he's
Yep.
a kid's like he's an instructor. Like he's very much in tune with the the characteristics and the traits of what it takes to be, like the type
people's
of guy.
champ.
Yeah, exactly. The kind of guy that gets nominated for a Walter Payton Award in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like he goes above and beyond the Call of Duty, within the UFC to be, a fucking massive role model.
He's got a big
And
hurdle.
Yeah, bro.
It's
And
gonna be
that's
a fun fight.
Alexander Volkov is a scary motherfucker.
Oh yeah. He really is. He's been going on a tear recently.
Yeah. I mean,
But I think Curtis usually
literally
figures
is
it out. That's
fucking-
what's cool about. See, I've counted Blades out before, and he's definitely
When I
proved me
first saw
wrong.
him fight, I was like, get this fucking tribal tattoo idiot out of here.
Yeah, and he didn't look very in shape.
No, and he looked clumsy. He looked kind of fucking uncomfortable. You know, kind of fucking, deer, doe-legged or not doe-legged, but you know what I'm saying.
Like a new
Yeah, baby deer fawn.
newborn deer. Yeah.
He over here fawn walking.
He doesn't have his sea legs yet. That's what
call it fawn
we would say in
walking.
the business. Fawn walking.
Yeah. He over here fawn walking. Uncomfortable in your own shoes.
What are you?
Oh shit, man. All right.
What else you got?
That's really loud, hun.
I do hear water. That's okay though.
It's all good, man.
Dishes can be done. They're allowed at any time of the day.
I can't really go anywhere else, so.
What else you got for me there? Fucking, that's a lot of UFC. I'm down though.
I mean, it's the only sport that we can watch right now, and of all sports, our podcast is relevant right now. And
I think we talked. Main card Curtis. You ever seen that? What was that show? Wife Swap.
Did I see the show Wife Swap?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Wife Swap.
I've seen it before, yeah.
Back in the Dizzy. There was this one with this little boy. Like, just Google King Curtis. Or just YouTube, I mean.
Bacon? Me and Bacon's family. Bacon?
I love it. I'm King Curtis.
I'm not having it.
And he's like, I'm out of here.
Joy?
Yeah. Joy? I had enough of this.
I had enough of this. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
She thinks she can't run something about she can't run very fast in a little high heel.
Yeah.
Like, who is this kid?
like the apparently kid.
Look,
I'm King Him and the apparently kid need to get together.
Apparently kid.
About some dinosaurs.
Holy shit!
Get them two on a podcast. That's what needs to happen. We need some children podcasts.
Yeah, but those kids aren't kids anymore.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, that meme. It's been a meme for like fucking.
Those are old memes. Those are very old
now?
memes. Yeah. Well, the apparently kid probably isn't too old. He's probably in high school, I think.
No.
You don't think he's 14? He's 14. 13, 14. That's freshman year, dude.
How old is the apparently kid?
Noah Ritter is 11 years old.
11.
How did
Jesus.
she know exactly who the hell? Damn, that's I'm impressed by that.
I mean, she knows everything. Siri doesn't know shit. Google fucking
And
knows
neither does
everything.
Alexa, bro. I'd be asking her shit all the time, and she's pissing me off. I'm like,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
not smart. You're just
You
simply
got
not smart.
fucking Jeff Bezos has a fucking boss. He don't do much for you. Not fucking boy. So. Speaking of employees, restaurants are allowing their employees back in their doors to serve us food. And
Have you been?
yeah, Emily and I went to Abby's. We went to Abby's Irish Pub.
Did you have to wear a mask?
No, they let us take it off between bites. But then after, as soon as you took the bite, you had to put it back on. But I mean, we still enjoyed our food.
Yeah, I bet you did.
No, you didn't even have to wear a mask. There,
This Colorado not doing that.
dude. No, it's not. It's not even really like. I don't know. I'd say it's kind of fading. Honestly, not very many people, even at work, are wearing masks. And I work in a dusty ass fucking warehouse full of rats and mice.
That's good to hear, man. Because my only contact to the outside world sometimes is like the Today Show, and I do that on purpose, though. You know, like I like to listen to those idiots sometimes.
Yeah, it makes you feel smarter about your life.
Yeah, I feel real smart, and then I get pissed a lot because I feel like they want me to be dumb. Like they really think I'm dumb as shit. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like all
Well,
the time.
they just know that majority of people are dumb.
Yeah, and I guess it just ain't for me, maybe.
Yeah. And for me, there. But I mean, you have to test yourself every once in a while to
Oh
see
yeah,
if you're an
and
idiot.
you know, to them, the entire world is wearing masks.
Sure. Exactly. It's like
So that's what I think.
Today we're going to show you some recipes. This
Yeah.
is cereal and milk.
Everybody's on Zoom still, and everybody's wearing masks in their own damn apartments.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Yeah. So, but with all this, man, do you think there's going to be a second wave of the Rona?
Yeah, they say it. What I hear, it's already a thing.
Oh, really? Dude, I don't even notice it. Really, like
But that don't mean anything. Like all these, we all know that
Who's
the numbers
they?
were padded.
Exactly. It's like who's they?
Fauci just came out the other day, like today or yesterday, saying that the only reason they said not to get masks on day one was because they knew the hospitals and shit were under what they needed. They didn't have, so everything needed to go to the hospitals and stuff. That's why he lied to us.
Mm.
Yeah. Like, are you kidding? I guess you're not kidding. So now we can never, ever take what you say seriously again.
Yeah.
Like, ever.
Never.
We all got lied to, dude.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
That shit pisses me. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I just want to laugh. Life is a comedy.
My life is a comedy. It's like
yeah?
the joke. Then I'm gonna shoot Robert De Niro.
You did almost lose your backpack today, huh?
Spoiler alert. I just ruined that movie for anybody who's never seen it.
Oh, it's been a couple months.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of memes.
I guess there is. But yeah, I get. You were saying that I fucking got my gym bag stolen from me today. I was, I have to fucking get a new gym. Because 24-hour fitness is officially bankrupt. And
They decided to call it quits.
Well, I don't know. There's a few other locations that are still, I guess, trying to reopen.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to milk as much money out of the people that are loyal to 24-hour fitness as much as possible before they officially close down. Hold on. Grady, enough.
Big old dog. Big old puppy dog.
He's just growling, man. Being impatient. Done. It's not. It ain't done.
It ain't done.
I can't say the word.
Which word?
Because the F word.
Oh.
Or FOOD.
Oh.
Dude, they fucking flip shit. It's great.
I bet.
It's not great. But anyways, when you get back, I think the plan is to get a Guinness from a place of draft.
Dude, my heart just got like really warm when you said that.
Yeah. I haven't really been drinking beer just because of, the whole keto thing.
Yeah.
But Emily's trying to reintroduce whole grain carbs. So I think Guinness is a whole grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Guinness has medicinal properties. No joke. Like, it does.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's science.
Yeah, I think women should drink it when they're pregnant.
Yeah, and they should do meth, too.
Oh, which is jumping.
I don't think that they should be
drinking.
Don't take any of his advice, people. If
Well,
you're pregnant, don't listen to Dylan.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want taking liability if somebody fucking goes and drinks, Guinness the entire time they're pregnant and their kid comes out, leprechauns.
A leprechaun, like the movies.
Honey fucking pot of gold.
That guy was a bad guy in the movies. Leprechaun?
Yeah. Yeah, he was evil.
You don't want your kid like that. He did kill a lot of people. Actually, I believe, if I remember right, he came out as someone's penis.
Whoa. Didn't we
Yeah.
all?
Well, originally, like, he poked his head out.
Oh.
I think that was Leprechaun 2. Could be wrong. I don't know. Email me.
Yeah. Email. Yeah, I'll AOL you.
I'm gonna wait for that door knock.
That door knock. You've got mail.
Yeah.
Theaters open soon.
Do they?
Yeah, because Bill and Ted comes out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Do you think
Hollywood knows, bro? Hollywood knows.
Do you think theaters stick around?
Yeah.
I sincerely hope they do. I love the theater.
Yeah, bro. They're not gonna get rid of theaters. There's too many awesome.
Well, I hope they make it. Is what I'm saying.
That would kill
Like,
Hollywood.
Financially, they make it.
That would kill
Hollywood. I've heard people saying, weirdos, in my opinion, saying that they'd rather just fucking, even brand new movies, just get it in their TV, in their room, in their living room.
No, man. I like going
That
to
ain't
the
me.
theater and getting popcorn.
Dude, you can't beat it. Secretly getting stoned in those seats.
Yeah. Or like, and then walk into the arcade afterwards, and fucking playing some air hockey. Like that's life, man. Like
I remember. I forget what
do
movie
that
we
shit.
watched. What movie we saw? We went and saw one movie. I forget what it was. Anyway, it don't matter. Dude, we got so baked in those seats during the movie. I had to take a piss. Like, I was scared to get up and go pee. Like, that was a journey.
Oh, yeah.
Real journey.
For the latest information, news, and analysis of the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA, check out the Lakers Fast Break podcast every Tuesday night at 9, right here at RTFSportsNetwork.com.
It just doesn't feel like summer without an ice-cold Coca-Cola in your hand. Stop by your local convenience store today and grab a 20-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Or pick up even more delicious refreshment with a 20-ounce bottle of Diet Coke, Sprite, or Fanta. So no matter how you soak in that summer sun, at home or on the go, grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today and enjoy.
And welcome back to Draft Vice. We're back. Took a little bit of a break, with the draft being over. Finished my coverage of that. And I'm working on a new project. Check it out. It's called Punk Law 101. And I am Walter, and we are here. We're back at Draft Vice all over again, right? And it's not football season yet. It's kind of been a little bit quiet on that front, so I thought I'd take 2 weeks off. And now I'm back. I'm going to keep doing I'll do a weekly episode all the way up till July. Starting at the beginning of July will be a couple of episodes a week, and we're going to start hammering out more stuff as we get to the end of this month. But I felt like it was a good time to work on a couple of other projects and kind of get ready to ramp up for the summer. So anyway, you can follow the podcast at DraftVice on Twitter, at DraftVice_football on Instagram, and you can follow me at BROJO. Death is in the end of life. Punch like a delicious drink. I mentioned before, we did the draft coverage. Go check that out. And, today's episode is going to be one of those more niche topics. I'm talking about the Jets, and why am I talking about the Jets, right? Walt, what's going on with the Jets? Well, Jamal Adams has demanded a trade, everybody. One of the last episodes I actually did on the draft was on the Jets. And again, this big question so far has been with Jamal Adams. Were they going to trade him last season? They were listening to calls and stuff like that. They had a really good draft, and now we're getting to this point, and Jamal Adams wants out. And I don't think he wants out for, no good reason, right? So what happened was I think, from what I can tell from the tweets and the Instagramming of Jamal Adams, is that he was expecting an offer sheet in the offseason to at least start the conversation, right? I'm not saying that he, thought maybe they couldn't come to terms or they reached an impasse. He is saying right now he has not even gotten an offer sheet, which is kind of weird, right? And they had told, and he is saying he was supposed to get it in January, and then they kicked it to the draft, which was what Rich Cimini so far suggested. So basically, Jamal Adams is a little annoyed. And listen, most people would be annoyed if you were told you were going to get a raise, and then your boss kept on kicking it down the road. And yeah, sometimes there's reasons as to why things get kicked down the road. And people have even made the point about coronavirus, and I get that. On the other end, there's not really much stopping him from getting a raise, right? Coronavirus, while creating some issues, and we will talk about it, I don't think stops you from giving Jamal Adams a raise. So let's talk about Jamal Adams, right? What can the Jets do with Jamal Adams? They basically have three options, right? They can extend him, they could trade him, or they can hold their cards. They could just say, listen, deal with it, buddy. And I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each one, right? First one, extend him, right? I'm a big fan of extending him. You look at his cap hit, right? His cap hit this year is $7.1 million. Half of that is signing bonus, so if they trade him away, he would only be a 3.35 cap hit, a 3.5 cap hit on whatever team he was going to. But for them, it's a $7 million cap hit. They did activate his fifth-year option. His fifth-year option is $9,860,000. So it's a chunk of change, but it's not extremely expensive, and it's not really cheap either. So it's a solid amount of money. That's that's not that is not rainy day money. So almost $10 million they are spending on him in 2021. If they were to franchise tag him, it would be probably $14 million in 2022, right? And the reason why I'm getting at that number, you might look at the franchise tag number and go, it's only $11 million this year, Walter. But we're talking about 2 years down the line, and right now it's the 5 average salaries of the people at your position. And if you look at the average salaries for safeties going into 2020, it is on average $14 million for the top 5 guys. And we'll go over a couple of those guys. Is that Landon Collins had a contract. So anyway, we'll go over some of those guys later on. But when you you're already going to have to pay him $14 million down the road if you want to franchise tag him 2 years from now. My personal opinion is when you have a player you believe is part of your franchise that you think is going to be there long term, and he is an elite level player, right? Now here the question's positional value, and we'll get into that. But my opinion is if you plan to keep a guy, the second he becomes available and you have him on contract, you have leverage to get him at a better deal. So, for instance, say they were to give him an extension right now, and even if they were to, in theory, pay him on the extended part of the extended part of the contract, like a top end safety, like the highest paid safety, which is Eddie Jackson right now, is $14.6 million, right? Say they were going to pay him $14.8 million per annual on the extended years of the contract. Keep in mind, we'll even go up to $15 million. How about that? We'll go up to $15 million. We're going to pay you like you are a true leader at this position, Jamal. We're talking about on the extended years of the contract. So we're not talking about this year, and we're not talking about next year. We're not talking about the $7 million this year and the $9 million next year. That stays relatively the same, right? You can, depending on what you want to do with your cap, make it that you were paying that money next year, but you don't have to because that's your fifth-year option. So you can make it as part of the extension. So say, and actually when I did this math earlier, I came out to $13 million, and I was incorrect on what his fifth-year option was. So it actually is going to probably be less than that. But so now you have 2 years where you have him under contract for less than $10 million, and then you have 3 years where you have him under contract for $15 million. What basically he's going to want to get, he wants his guaranteed money. He's going to want to know he's getting a little bit more money going into the future, lock it up, and be able to save for his family. He doesn't think he's making $40 million on this. He's even announced it. He's like, listen, I'm not making Mahomes money. If I was making Mahomes money, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me like next year. But we know that's not the case, and he knows that's not the case. He knows the top end of his market is about $15 million. There are some rumors that he wants to be the highest paid Jet on the team as of right now. That's C.J. Mosley, which would be about $17 million. I don't know how much I buy on that. Some of that might be negotiation. So, like I said, I think, but what you are getting is for those 3 years where you're paying him $15 million at the end of this extension, for the extended years, what you were basically getting is a 5-year deal at like $12.8 or $13 million. That's really good. So imagine you get to really say, well, yeah, it's a 3-year extension of $15 million a year, but reality is your average over the next 5 years is really $12 to $13 million. $12 to $13 million for Jamal Adams on your team? Yo, I'm signing that deal now, buddy. Hell, let's see if we can add 4 years on that deal, right? Like get him on long term, and then maybe he can get into a second contract before he's 30. And then you get to let him walk and maybe get a comp pick at the end of that. But still, you are now creating value. Or you can trade him later on, too. Like, again, because you can have years of that deal that are not guaranteed. And you never know. That might not be considered a heavy contract for a safety going into the future, right? I know there's a lot of worries about COVID-19, right? Like, everybody's going, oh, there's a cap crunch coming. That's very possible. That is totally true. That it could happen partially because about 20 to 30% of the revenue comes from people being in the stands, and that sounds like the real thing that's going to hurt the revenue. It's not going to. People are going to tune into the games. In fact, it might have more people tuning into the games. And as the next few years come on, you're going to have more games to watch. So with the 17th game and the extra playoff game, so over the next couple of years, you're going to have some of that money made back up. In fact, they're going to be making way more money. Plus, the new CBA has a bigger portion of profit sharing for the players. That increase will increase the cap in the future. The big worry is going into next year because of the lack of fans in the stands going into this year. Totally understandable. I do think that might be an issue for some teams. If you were the Jets, though, you were already paying Jamal Adams almost $10 million. So even if you were going to make part of this extension, you were going to make some of that money go into next year, which you don't have to, then you're maybe extending it to like a couple of million. You're not necessarily, and what you're really doing it for is cap relief into the future. I think that's a good move. I don't know. For me, if I really like Jamal Adams, I like the way he plays, I like the way he is in coverage, I like the ability to use him as a blitzer, as an outside linebacker, and the ability to run a pure nickel and pure dime system, to not even have to go into worry about sub-packages, to be able to use him as your nickel backer, your outside backer, your safety, his versatility. Now, I understand his pass coverage is great, but he also doesn't usually get you much as far as pass breakups and interceptions. But he's always in the right place. He's a piece. He's a weapon. He's a leader on the defense, and it seems like everybody there is on the same page with him, except for where it comes to the contract. So here's the question, right? So say the Jets and me aren't seeing eye to eye on this, right? They don't agree with me. They say, listen, we don't want to create the precedent of extending a guy who has 2 years left on his deal. I understand that for second contract players. I don't understand it for players that are on their first year your rookie deal. Because if you're on the rookie contract, you're only eligible to get an extension, and also it's a kind of a cockamamie, setup. Like there's no capitalism involved in it. It's you were drafted and you take that contract. So with that being said, I personally believe that, like, listen, if you like a player and you see them as your long term, you have leverage now. You have more leverage now than you will ever have. You have a year left on his rookie deal plus a 5th-year option plus the ability to franchise tag him. That is enough to get him to agree to a deal, I think, personally, that if you want to extend him, and yeah, okay, you're going to throw a little bit of extra guaranteed money up in the air, a little bit maybe, but that gives you an option down the line to, you're going to have him at a cheaper deal. You're never going to get him cheaper than you are going to be with this deal. So say they don't agree with me on that. Say that, you know what, we don't think this is the guy we want long term. Fine. I think your option 2 is trade him, right? The big problem with trading him and trading Jamal Adams is figuring out the value for Jamal Adams. I think for a lot of teams he is very valuable, but it depends on, A, the defense you're running, the value of safety in your defense, and what he does to your defense. Like, he could basically, him and Derwin James and, like, maybe one or two other guys really play that position in a manner that is that useful, that you can maybe utilize as, like I said before, you can run a pure nickel or pure dime defense, which means you could have all defensive backs, one linebacker on the field. You can literally just make it a coverage defense, and you wouldn't be really losing much in the run game because you would have Jamal Adams, who could also, again, is a very good run stopper, but again, very good in coverage. So with that said, say you yourself, the Jets, are saying, listen, we don't see this as part of our future. We don't value safety that much. What is the value that if you're the Jets? And personally, for me, if I'm the Jets, I want a first-rounder for him, right? I know a lot of my friends are Jets fans. They really want a first-rounder for him. You might have to settle for an equivalent of a first-rounder, right? You might not get a pure first-rounder. You might get a second-rounder plus a player, or the second-rounder plus another pick, maybe even including a player. So you would need more than just, you're probably looking for the first-round value concept, where I know some people are like, I want a top 10 pick, and I'm like, that's not going to happen. Like, I understand you want that. We all want that. You're not getting a top 10 pick for Jamal Adams. To me, it would have to, because you think about what the value of Jamal Adams is for the Jets, right? It really is probably a first-round value. For him to go to another team, I don't think a lot of teams have him as a first-round value for them, given what's left on his contract, right? You get 1 year at $3.5 million. That's really good. I do like that, but it's 1 year. And his 5th-year option, which is about $10 million, good deal, but not amazing. And then and then if you franchise tag him, it's a 14, maybe even more, $14 million or more deal. And then, or you do the extension. Now, he's already released a list of players to, not Ian Rappaport, I think it was Schefter tweeted it. He has a list of teams that he'd be willing to go to, which includes the Eagles, the Texans, the Cowboys. And the second I heard the Eagles, I went, that's the team I think would be perfect for him. For some reason in my head, if there's a team that's willing to trade a first-round pick to get his kind of play, I think it's the Eagles. I think that's the team where he would match up maybe the best. Cowboys, too. The only problem is I don't know, because I think the Cowboys down the line look a little bit more worrisome. I think they had a great draft this year, right? I'm going to do my most improved teams from the offseason next week, and I do think they are part of it. But my issue is that there's I think there's pieces going into next year that they need a first-round pick to fix. I don't think that's the same for the Eagles, and I think Jamal Adams going there would be great. The Texans were mentioned, but the problem is the Texans don't exactly have a lot of draft capital. They traded a lot away for Laramie Tunsil. So I don't know if that's going to be a very viable option. There might be some other teams that he'd be interested in being traded to, but he would want an extension, right? For instance, maybe the Browns have been mentioned before. They have some cap space, and they are looking to play like a very nickel dime heavy defense. I get that I get the idea there. The problem is I don't see the value for the Browns, given that they have two guys on rookie contracts who are playing safety for them. They also have Sadejo and Carl Joseph, and the ability to kind of be cheap at that position for them is actually pretty good for them right now. Now, maybe it would be a good pickup for them, but I can't see them expending maybe like a second-round pick on them. I'm just trying to pull through some of these. Some teams that Jamal Adams is willing to be traded to. He won't immediately request an extension, so some of these teams may be the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. Basically, this guy wants to go to a Super Bowl. Seahawks would be an interesting one. I think Seahawks would maybe trade a first-rounder for him, too. They need a guy to replace the Cam Chancellor role. He definitely fits that mold. And those would maybe be teams that would be on the precipice of trading a first-rounder because they're at the end of the first round, and I could see a value for they're all perennial. He wants to go to a perennial playoff team, and he's saying, listen, I'm willing to go to these teams, it sounds like, without requiring them to give him an extension. Like, he's not going to do what he's doing to the Jets to them. Kind of a dick move, but it's understandable because what you're trying to do is, listen, if I can't get an extension, what I want is to play on a team for this price where I want to go. So I get it. Before I mentioned the safeties, right, that where their contracts were, the top 5 safeties are Eddie Jackson at $14.6 million, Kevin Byard at $14.1, Tyrann Mathieu at $14, Landon Collins at $14, and Earl Thomas at $13.75. So that's going to come out to about $14 million on average for if you were going to franchise tag them. And then somebody had mentioned to me, what if we just did the whole double franchise thing, right? Now, I thought they were going to try and get rid of that with the new CBA. Apparently, it is not gone. So what happens is if you do double franchise tag him, though, his second franchise tag is going to be 120% of his last contract, it's going to be an estimated $14 million, which, if it is, his second franchise tag would be $16.8 million, which is way more than any safety in the NFL as of right now. So I don't see that being an option. I really do think that it's going to be, if they want to get a first-round pick, what they're going to have to do is trade him, maybe like swap a later round pick or a mid-round pick for to get a first-rounder for him. Or they could take a second-rounder and maybe a player. One of the thoughts that I've seen before and I kind of like is Yannick Ngakoue in a second-rounder, although I think the Jags value Yannick Ngakoue way more. And I don't think they want to trade their second-rounder next year, just depending on where they're going to be in the draft. Maybe they want to get, again, like one of the top quarterbacks in the draft next year. So I don't see them expounding picks to go ahead and, to just trade for a safety. One of the other options I heard was to Dallas, but a second-rounder in Michael Gallup. I've seen some Jets fans say they want a first-rounder in Michael Gallup, and I don't see the Dallas Cowboys doing that. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be like, no, go pound salt. We might trade you a first-rounder, we might trade you Michael Gallup, but we're not trading you both. Like, it just doesn't make sense for them to do that. So I could see the Cowboys being interested in trading for a safety and trading their first-rounder. I think that's very risky, but it's possible considering their safety woes. There was also talk that Jerry Jones was interested last year in trading a first-round pick for him. So if that's the case, maybe that is where they kind of get to a meeting of the minds. So, like I said, you got to find the market. There's some teams where he's just not going to be a part of their their scheme. There's some teams where even if he's a part of their scheme, he's not part of the positional value because, like I said before, safety is a weird position. Now, it might be like a position like tight end where it's undervalued, and you are getting a player of high quality out of that. I think there's quite a few safeties that, because they are on cheaper deals, like you see this with the Patriots, they value safety a lot. Why? Because you can keep safety at a cheaper contract than, say, paying high-end corners, and way cheaper than paying high-end pass rushers. This is becoming, I think, a theme in the NFL, and once other teams catch on to the value of maybe safeties. Now, safety is also a very schematic thing, so it depends on the team. Like I said before, some teams are just not going to value him that high. Some teams might value him highly, but again, like a first rounder is a lot. First rounder, especially like if you are not sure where you might be next year in the draft, which is why I think certain teams, I know people have mentioned the Browns. I know people have mentioned, I don't know about the Titans. Titans would actually be an intriguing one. I'm shocked that the Titans aren't on his short list because he would be a fun match for the Titans. But again, like a couple of other teams, but I do understand maybe the Niners being interested. Teams that have been very much built into that Seahawks cover 3 defense, like teams that want that Cam Chancellor role in there, and he could definitely be the leader and the punisher on your defense. Again, I think Seahawks would be a good match. I think the Cowboys would be a good match. But what happens, right? What happens if they don't get a deal in the door, right? What if the Jets are just like, we don't want to hear anybody. We're not getting value for them. We want more than what people are willing to pay us. Fine. What is the next step? Well, the next step is do nothing. And what are the risks with that, right? Like, players are probably not going to hold out as much anymore because the new CBA makes it relatively harder to hold out. You run the risk of not accruing seasons. If you're on your second contract, they can't waive fines. So when you for not showing up. So if you are doing that, you are running a big risk that you might not, make it to your, may be considered accruing a season. But that just rules out the holdout. The other concept is to do a hold in, which I think is way more detrimental to the team. We saw this with Jalen Ramsey last year. You now have a player taking up a spot on your team who you were not able to count on a week-to-week basis, and now all of a sudden you're on week 3 of your season and he's pretending he has a hammy. That's not working, and it could create a real issue. It could create a problem, scheming for your team. It can create a problem, going into the year. It would create a real dispute, and you really would have a hard time fighting it. And again, like, he could just be a headache in the locker room. I don't think Jamal Adams wants to do that. I don't think a lot of players want to do that. I think players think that their reputation's on the line. They want to play with their team. They don't want to go ahead and be disruptive. But now you've taken out the holdout. Now you're going to get a lot more players being hold-ins. And I think this is going to end up being a bigger headache than teams think. So if that happens, that's a headache for them. It also... I mentioned on Twitter, and I'm going to mention this, the concept of goodwill, right? I understand that that the ambiguity with the cap happened with COVID, and the Jets kind of want to keep kicking it down the road. But when you keep telling a player who's your star player that you're going to pay him, and you keep kicking the can down the road, it still sends a bad message to your players on your team, to players that are not on your team. And even though Joe Douglas came in with a shit show of a ship, and he's tried correcting it, and I was a big fan of his draft. I am a big fan of his. He's had some question marks. Now, we don't know whose issues they've been, but there was the Colicchio Semele issue last year. There might be some things that might scare players away from coming to the Jets, and you don't want that. You want to build a culture of winning, and you want to be a team that players want to come to. Now, it might be irrelevant on that note. People, 2 years down the line, if the Jets are winning, no player is going to remember the Colicchio Semele and Jamal Adams situation. But it might be a thing that down the line you go, but before you get down the line to winning, you might need a couple of free agents to pop in at cheap deals, and you might be like, listen, come to the Jets. We're in New York. Come hang out at the Meadowlands. And they might be like, listen, I saw what you did to Jamal Adams. I saw what you did to KO. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. So it might make the Jets a lesser destination for a lot of players. So I don't know. I kind of think that if you were promising him to pay him money, the least you can do. I'm not saying you have to give him everything. I'm not even saying you have to sign him to a deal. I'm saying give him an offer. Give him a cheap offer. Give him a lowball deal. I don't know. And maybe that might be more insulting to him. Maybe they're worried about the guaranteed money. But it sounds like he hasn't gotten an offer at all. I think it depends. If they've been in conversations and they're just not anywhere near each other, that's a different story. I don't think we're even at that. He said I don't think he's even gotten any kind of call on this. He seems more upset because he hasn't even been reached out to. There's not even a conversation. I think one of his comments was on Myles Garrett getting being in talks for an extension with the Browns. I think he just wants the conversation going. I don't think he's sitting there going I can't believe they don't want to pay me $17 million. Listen, it's a negotiation. He's going to have his position. He's going to have his numbers, and they're going to have theirs. And if they came to him and said, listen, we want to pay you $14 million because right now you're still under contract for the next 2 years. We'll give you a $14 million extension. Or even better, 14.7. We'll make you just higher than Eddie Jackson, but the downside's going to be, it's just part of the extension. On average, your contract's going to be probably in the 12 to 13 range. Honestly, he might say, you know what, I get to say I'm the highest paid safety in the NFL, and then not only that, he gets a signing bonus again. He gets the extension signing bonus. So there's a lot to it that I think that is valuable. And you can get him, on average, at a lot cheaper of a deal right now. The last thing I want to touch on, and I mentioned it before, is the cap potentially being an issue. I think it's only going to be an issue for 1 to 2 years, though. And you kind of know what you're paying on this guy already. You really might not have to worry about paying much more over the next few years regardless, and you know it's going to bounce back. Unless the world ends in 2 years, which at that point, who cares anyway, you have the ability to make this money back up. So, I don't know. There's no other teammate, there's no other player you're really paying a lot of money for, right? The next guy you're paying is Sam Darnold. Everybody else in that team is a cheap contract or a fuck-up from before, or, who knows. But, my personal feelings are you got to get value out of Adams while he's on your team. And that means either extending him on a cheap deal. And listen, I understand now here's the counterpart, right? I was talking to somebody earlier, Jets fan, on the Twitterverse, and we were talking. He's like, listen, you don't extend safeties. It's just not, there's no value in extending a safety like that because there's a positional value issue. I get that to an extent, right? He was saying you only do that with tackles, quarterbacks, and pass rushers. And I'm like, you do that until it's the rule until it's not the rule, right? In this scenario, yeah, he's a safety, but there's not a lot of safeties taken in the first round. There's definitely not a lot of safeties taken in the top 10. There's not a lot of safeties who are as high level and high quality as Jamal Adams and what he does to a defense. So there is an argument that this is the special case scenario. We talked about the Christian McCaffrey extension, right? This is a special case scenario, and you are getting a player that is unique for their position. The same thing is going for Jamal Adams. He is unique to his position, and maybe not. Maybe he's not totally unique. But and maybe there's even players out there who do produce an 80 to 90% of what he is. I like him as a player. I think and I actually might undervalue him compared to Jets fans. But I like when the people were floating the idea of the Browns trading a first rounder for him, I was like, don't do that. So I understand maybe people being all over the place. I know a lot of Jets fans want more than just a first round pick for him. I don't think you're getting that, Jets fans. I don't think you're horribly off base, but I just don't think I think it's gonna be a hard sell getting that. And then a second rounder, if I'm the Jets, I don't want a second rounder for him. I'm getting a second rounder for him. I want another player involved. That's why the Yannick Ngakoue suggestion was pretty cool in my head, except I don't think the Jags are getting rid of second round picks out of nowhere. So where does this leave us? Like I said, potentially a holdout or a hold-in. The Jets kind of needing to scrub up their name a little bit. Try to be like, listen, we're trying to be winners. We reward our guys. And again, creating value, getting something out of your own guys. So overall, I really do. I'm intrigued by this scenario. This is actually something I wanted to talk about for a while, and it just came back up again. So this is the perfect time. So if you want, follow the podcast at DraftVice on Twitter, at DraftVice_football on Instagram. You can follow me at BROJO. Death is in the end of life. Punch, like that delicious drink you drink in the summer. You can also check out my new podcast called Punk Law 101. It is a legal news and commentary and semi-comedy podcast, and there's some videos we're playing around with, and that the link to that will be in the bio as well. We talk about all different things. If you want to get a little bit more into the legal world, and hear some of my some stuff. The Supreme Court opinions came out this week. A couple of them. We discussed a little bit of that. We're just going to discuss a little bit more next week. And other than that, take care. I'll be back next week. I'm going to finally do those call-outs to the people who've commented on the videos. That'll be my first video next week. I'm going to do some fantasy football discussion. And I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad to be doing this. And I'm listen, take care. Ta-ta. Farewell. Goodbye.
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous. I love the past and I love the future.
It's time to go back to work. There's a lot to do. We have things to make, stuff to build, cargo to ship, customers to serve. So grab a 5-hour energy and get ready. For 16 years, through good times and bad, 5-hour energy has been there helping hard-working people get stuff done. It's time to go back to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get going. For more information and to order online, visit 5hourenergy.com. It's time to go back to work. There's a lot to do. We have things to make, stuff to build, cargo to ship, customers to serve. So grab a 5-hour energy and get ready. For 16 years, through good times and bad, 5-hour energy has been there helping hard-working people get stuff done. It's time to go back to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get going. For more information and to order online, visit 5hourenergy.com.
It just doesn't feel like summer without an ice-cold Coca-Cola in your hand. Stop by your local convenience store today and grab a 20-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Or pick up even more delicious refreshment with a 20-ounce bottle of Diet Coke, Sprite, or Fanta. So no matter how you soak in that summer sun, at home or on the go, grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today and enjoy.
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous. I love the past and I love the future.
And welcome back to Draft Vice. We're back. Took a little bit of a break, with the draft being over. Finished my coverage of that. And I'm working on a new project. Check it out. It's called Punk Law 101. And I am Walter, and we are here. We're back at Draft Vice all over again, right? And it's not football season yet. It's kind of been a little bit quiet on that front, so I thought I'd take 2 weeks off. And now I'm back. I'm going to keep doing I'll do a weekly episode all the way up till July. Starting in the beginning of July will be a couple of episodes a week. And we're going to start hammering out more stuff as we get to the end of this month. But I felt like it was a good time to work on a couple of other projects and kind of get ready to ramp up for the summer. So anyway, you can follow the podcast at DraftVice on Twitter, at DraftVice_football on Instagram. And you can follow me at BROJO. Death is in the end of life. Punch like a delicious drink. I mentioned before, we did the draft coverage. Go check that out. And, today's episode is going to be like one of those more niche topics. I'm talking about the Jets. And why am I talking about the Jets, right? Walt, what's going on with the Jets? Well, Jamal Adams has demanded a trade, everybody. One of the last episodes I actually did on the draft was on the Jets. And again, this big question so far has been with Jamal Adams. Were they going to trade him last season? They were listening to calls and stuff like that. They had a really good draft, and now we're getting to this point, and Jamal Adams wants out. And I don't think he wants out for, no good reason, right? So what happened was I think, from what I can tell from the tweets and the Instagramming of Jamal Adams, is that he was expecting an offer sheet in the offseason. to at least start the conversation, right? I'm not saying that he maybe thought maybe they couldn't come to terms or they reached an impasse. He is saying right now he has not even gotten an offer sheet, which is kind of weird, right? And they had told, and he is saying he was supposed to get it in January, and then they kicked it to the draft, which was what Rich Cimini so far suggested. So basically, Jamal Adams is a little annoyed. And listen, most people would be annoyed if you were told you were going to get a raise, and then your boss kept on kicking it down the road. And yeah, sometimes there's reasons as to why things get kicked down the road. And people even made the point about coronavirus, and I get that. On the other end, there's not really much stopping him from getting a raise, right? There's coronavirus, while creating some issues, and we will talk about it, I don't think stops you from giving Jamal Adams a raise. So let's talk about Jamal Adams, right? What can the Jets do with Jamal Adams? They basically have three options, right? They can extend him, they could trade him, or they can hold their cards. Like, they could just say, listen, deal with it, buddy. And I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each one, right? First one, extend him, right? I'm a big fan of extending him. You look at his cap hit, right? His cap hit this year is $7.1 million. Half of that is signing bonus, so if they trade him away, he would only be a 3.35 cap hit, a 3.5 cap hit on whatever team he was going to. But for them, it's a $7 million cap hit. They did activate his fifth-year option. His fifth-year option is $9,860,000. So it's a chunk of change, but it's not like extremely expensive, and it's not really cheap either. So it's a solid amount of money. That's that's not like, that is not rainy day money. So almost $10 million they are spending on him in 2021. If they were to franchise tag him, it would be probably $14 million in 2022, right? And the reason why I'm getting at that number, you might look at the franchise tag number and go, it's only $11 million this year, Walter. But we're talking about 2 years down the line, and right now it's the 5 average salaries of the people at your position. And if you look at the average salaries for safeties going into 2020, it is on average $14 million for the top 5 guys. So, and we'll go over a couple of those guys. Is that Landon Collins had a contract? So anyway, we'll go over some of those guys later on. But when you're already going to have to pay him $14 million down the road if you want to franchise tag him 2 years from now. My personal opinion is when you have a player you believe is part of your franchise that you think is going to be there long term, and he is an elite level player, right? Now here the question's positional value, and we'll get into that. But my opinion is if you plan to keep a guy, the second he becomes available and you have him on contract, you have leverage to get him at a better deal. So, for instance, say they were to give him an extension right now, and even if they were to, in theory, pay him on the extended part of the extended part of the contract, like a top end safety, like the highest paid safety, which is Eddie Jackson right now, is $14.6 million, right? Say they were going to pay him $14.8 million per annual on the extended years of the contract. Keep in mind, we'll even go up to $15 million. How about that? We'll go up to $15 million. We're going to pay you like you are a true leader at this position, Jamal. We're talking about on the extended years of the contract. So we're not talking about this year, and we're not talking about next year. We're not talking about the $7 million this year and the $9 million next year. That stays relatively the same, right? You can, depending on what you want to do with your cap, make it that you were paying that money next year, but you don't have to because that's your fifth-year option. So you can make it as part of the extension. So say, and actually when I did this math earlier, I came out to $13 million, and I was incorrect on what his fifth-year option was. So it actually is going to probably be less than that. But so now you have 2 years where you have him under contract for less than $10 million, and then you have 3 years where you have him under contract for $15 million. What basically he's going to want to get, he wants his guaranteed money. He's going to want to know he's getting a little bit more money going into the future, lock it up, and be able to save for his family. He doesn't think he's making $40 million on this. He's even announced it. He's like, listen, I'm not making Mahomes money. If I was making Mahomes money, you wouldn't hear a peep out of me like next year. But we know that's not the case. He knows that's not the case. He knows the top end of his market is about $15 million. There are some rumors that he wants to be the highest paid Jet on the team as of right now. That's C.J. Mosley, which would be about $17 million. I don't know how much I buy on that. Some of that might be negotiation. So, like I said, I think, but what you are getting is for those 3 years where you're paying him $15 million at the end of this extension, for the extended years, what you were basically getting is a 5-year deal at like 12.8 or $13 million. That's really good. So imagine you get to really say, well, yeah, it's a 3-year extension of $15 million a year, but reality is your average over the next 5 years is really 12 to 13 million. 12 to 13 million for Jamal Adams on your team? Yo, I'm signing that deal now, buddy. Hell, let's see if we can add 4 years on that deal, right? Like, get him on long term, and then, maybe he can get hit to a second contract before he's 30. And then you get to let him walk and maybe get a comp pick at the end of that. But still, you are now creating value. Or you can trade him later on, too. Like, again, because you can have years of that deal that are not guaranteed, and you never know. That might not be considered a heavy contract for a safety going into the future, right? I know there's a lot of worries about COVID-19, right? Like, everybody's going, oh, there's a cap crunch coming. That's very possible. That is totally true. That it could happen partially because about 20 to 30% of the revenue comes from people being in the stands, and that sounds like the real thing that's going to hurt the revenue. It's not going to. People are going to tune into the games. In fact, it might have more people tuning into the games. And as the next few years come on, you're going to have more games to watch. So, with the 17th game and the extra playoff game, so over the next couple of years, you're going to have some of that money made back up. In fact, they're going to be making way more money. Plus, the new CBA has a bigger portion of profit sharing for the players. That increase will increase the cap in the future. The big worry is going into next year because of the lack of fans in the stands going into this year. Totally understandable. I do think that might be an issue for some teams. If you were the Jets, though, you were already paying Jamal Adams almost $10 million. So even if you were going to make part of this extension, you were going to make some of that money go into next year, which you don't have to, then you're maybe extending it to like a couple of million. You're not necessarily, and what you're really doing it for is cap relief into the future. I think that's a good move. I don't know. For me, if I really like Jamal Adams, I like the way he plays, I like the way he is in coverage, I like the ability to use him as a blitzer, as an outside linebacker, and the ability to run a pure nickel and pure dime system, to not even have to go into worry about sub packages, to be able to use him as your nickel backer, your outside backer, your safety, his versatility. Now, I understand his pass coverage is great, but he also doesn't usually get you much as far as pass breakups and interceptions. But he's always in the right place. He's a piece. He's a weapon. He's a leader on the defense, and it seems like everybody there is on the same page with him, except for where it comes to the contract. So here's the question, right? So say the Jets and me aren't seeing eye to eye on this, right? They don't agree with me. They say, listen, we don't want to create the precedent of extending a guy who has 2 years left on his deal. I understand that for second contract players. I don't understand it for players that are on their first year your rookie deal. Because if you're on the rookie contract, you're only eligible to get an extension, and also it's a kind of a cockamamie setup. Like there's no capitalism involved in it. It's you were drafted and you take that contract. So with that being said, I personally believe that, like, listen, if you like a player and you see them as your long term, you have leverage now. You have more leverage now than you will ever have. You have a year left on his rookie deal plus a 5th-year option plus the ability to franchise tag him. That is enough to get him to agree to a deal, I think, personally, that if you want to extend him, and yeah, okay, you're going to throw a little bit of extra guaranteed money up in the air, a little bit maybe, but that gives you an option down the line to, you're going to have him at a cheaper deal. You're never going to get him cheaper than you are going to be with this deal. So say they don't agree with me on that. Say that, you know what, we don't think this is the guy we want long term. Fine. I think your option 2 is trade him, right? The big problem with trading him and trading Jamal Adams is figuring out the value for Jamal Adams. I think for a lot of teams he is very valuable, but it depends on, A, the defense you're running, the value of safety in your defense, and what he does to your defense. Like, he could basically, him and Derwin James and, like, maybe one or two other guys really play that position in a manner that is that useful, that you can maybe utilize as, like I said before, you can run a pure nickel or pure dime defense, which means you could have all defensive backs, one linebacker on the field. You can literally just make it a coverage defense, and you wouldn't be really losing much in the run game because you would have Jamal Adams, who could also, again, is a very good run stopper, but again, very good in coverage. So with that said, say you yourself, the Jets, are saying, listen, we don't see this as part of our future. We don't value safety that much. What is the value that if you're the Jets? And personally, for me, if I'm the Jets, I want a first-rounder for them, right? I know a lot of my friends are Jets fans. They really want a first-rounder for them. You might have to settle for an equivalent of a first-rounder, right? You might not get a pure first-rounder. You might get a second-rounder plus a player, or the second-rounder plus another pick, maybe even including a player. So you would need more than just, you're probably looking for the first-round value concept